Hello everybody and welcome into our latest live stream. Today is Friday. It is the 4th of February 2022. My name is Kerry Holzman.
And I'm Mitch Morrison.
Yes, indeed, he is Mitch Morrison.
The tall Mitch Morrison.
Everybody's tall compared to me. I don't know what. Yeah. It's not a high bar.
I have a little bit of sad, not sad news, but disappointing. I was all set to see my band Toto February 28th in Tucson, and yesterday I got an email saying it's not been canceled, but at least it's been postponed. And then I kind of did some research, and I think one of the guys is
not feeling too good.
Is not feeling too good. You obviously know why, and so
the club,
so they've just had to postpone it. The venue said we will reset it up, but I was, second row, dead center to see my boys, and I'm like, I got that email, and they're like, hang on to your ticket, it's still good. I'm like, I will. So hopefully it'll be not in the summer when it's 150 in June. I'm like, ugh.
Won't be the first time, won't be the last, I'm sure.
Yeah, so.
Well, today, we'll do a couple of them. We're going to do a lot of things today. You up for it?
Multitask?
We're going to multitask.
Okay.
One, first of all, shout out and thank you to John Jack Wilson for that $50 contribution. And prior to the show, a nice, generous Amazon gift card from Peter Laycock, who is essentially producing today's show. It was a very generous contribution. So, to kick things off in that vein, I have a couple computers over here that need to be given away.
Okay.
This is one of them right here. So there's two identical systems here. I got a little dust on it. There's two identical systems here. These are HPs. These are off-lease business computers, and we want to give these to veterans, folks that are disabled and in a situation where perhaps having a computer would make their life a little better. These machines have Windows 10 Pro on them. All of these machines do have a display port out and a VGA out. These are business machines, so they primarily use DisplayPort monitors, but you can also use a VGA. If you've got HDMI, then you'll want to get a DisplayPort to HDMI adapter. I picked those up at Amazon for like $10, $8, something like that. So what we're gonna do is we need to find two winners. I got two of these left. And the specs on these are, they're like Core i5s, I think, 8 gigs of RAM. They've got, I think, a 240 gig SSD, Windows 10 Pro, fully updated, BIOS is updated. I personally take these machines and go through them with a fine-tooth comb before I ship them. Then I pay to pack and ship this within the United States, and I can only ship within the United States, is about $60 or $70, depending on how far it's going. It's about $25 to pack it.
Okay.
So that's my expense in addition to the solid state drives, in addition to the machines themselves, in addition to my time and labor. And then after these two, there's going to be 8 more on top of 2 Chromebooks, which would be really beneficial for anybody with kids learning remotely, because the Chromebooks, they don't let you install any software. They're very difficult to play any games on, very difficult to break them. Everything's internet-based, so it's great for any sort of remote stuff. They're software-wise, they're very difficult to penetrate with viruses or ransomware. Any of that stuff just kind of is non-existent on Chromebooks, comparatively speaking. And then the way people get themselves in trouble with downloading and stuff like that just doesn't happen on these because there's very little storage on them. They're just really meant as a tool to go online. So for remote learning, especially for kids and parents who want their kids to be studying and not playing, these will be ideal. So we're going to give the other 8 machines and the Chromebooks away in the near future. First, we're going to get rid of these machines. We have 2 of these, and so you have to nominate yourself. And the way that this works is we want to take care of our community that takes care of us. So if you're in a position of need, you personally, not somebody you know, you as a member of our community are in a position of need where this would benefit you, it would improve your life in some way, shape, or form, nominate yourself, leaving a comment after this video is done. Leave a comment under this video nominating yourself. We are going to prioritize veterans, disabled veterans, any type of veteran, folks that are disabled, and then move beyond that to folks who just have hard luck. And we're going to fulfill the needs based on the self-nominations of who would benefit the most. And we're going to work our way through that list. My goal is, at some point, we're going to ask the community, and the community's all going to say, we're good. But what I don't want to hear are people saying, oh, I know a person that could use this, or this could be a relative that could. No, unless they're a part of the community, you can only nominate yourself. There's nothing that bothers me more than somebody's reaching out to help a friend or a family member who doesn't even want to help. I've seen this happen. Then it ends up being a waste of time and money for everybody. Well, somebody else who genuinely could have used it gets passed over. So really focused on those who would benefit the most. We're prioritizing the veterans, and I think it's obvious why we're doing that. Certainly enough in this country isn't done for veterans. So if you want to nominate yourself, please do so in the comments after the video is live. I would love to give a computer to everybody in the audience if I could. Unfortunately, shipping outside of the United States, along with the import taxes that countries impose on the products, along with the likelihood of damage, makes it impractical financially, and it makes it impractical to get a machine to be in reasonable condition unless it is excessively packed, which adds more to the expense, still without a guarantee. So for that reason, the lower 48, Alaska and Hawaii have the same problems. So if you're in Alaska, Hawaii, I can't really help you out because of the, again, shipping costs and the likelihood of damage. There's no warranty or guarantee expressed or implied. These work perfectly fine. They should be fine through 2025, the end of 2025, when Windows 10 support ends in October, mid-October. I don't think you'll be able to put Windows 11 on these, but you should be able to get a good 3 years out of these. More than 3 years, because we're not even to October 2022 yet, right?
Right.
So 3.5 years. So it's meant as a stopgap. They're pretty responsive, especially if what you're doing is web browsing, paying bills, watching videos. This does that with ease. It doesn't even break a sweat. And we really want to find people, as I mentioned, that are going to benefit the most. You'll have to provide your own monitor, your own speakers, your own keyboard, your own mouse. You're just getting the box. It's all configured and updated with Windows 10 Pro, and all the shipping and packing is being paid for by the community. It's not me that's doing this. I want you to understand. Don't be thanking me. This is all because of folks like John Jack Wilson, like Peter Laycock, like Ross Whitehead, like Jose Rivero Estacio. There's just so many people that have been very generous, and some people have specifically requested that their contributions go specifically to the veteran giveaways. And so to honor those requests, it's time to get back to that. So I want to get these two out of here first, then we'll move on to the other 8 in the weeks ahead. Feel free to nominate yourself, and be in the United States, be over the age of 18 years old. Nothing frustrates me more than I see a lot of hobbyists and enthusiasts building the fastest computer they can build, only to use it for web browsing and email. And then they write about how it was to build it.
Right.
Most people only need a machine like this. And for most people, this may be the fastest computer they ever owned. You'd be surprised how fast these older machines are when they are configured properly and upgraded to a solid-state drive. It's hard to tell this from a modern 12-core on web browsing and email and Word and Excel for the general home use. It would be hard to tell them apart other than in your wallet. So we like to keep things practical and pragmatic here. And again, thanks to our community for making the giveaway possible. We wish you the best of luck. You can only win once if you've won something in the past. We want to give everybody a chance to win, so that's why we have that in place. And if you don't get picked for this giveaway, there's more giveaways coming. And that's the pro and the con of it, right? The con of it is if you had won something like a computer that we gave away 3 years ago, and now you want something more modern like this one, well, you're disqualified. You've already won. Let's let somebody else have a chance. On the other hand, if you haven't won and you're sad about that, the good news is you still can. There's always more giveaways. And so that's the downside when somebody's a jerk and they get banned on the channel. They disqualify themselves from these giveaways. It's their own punishment. Bob R. contributes $10. He says, just because you are super. And there's Jack Wilson with a $125 contribution. He says, here's for the shipping cost for those 2 computers.
Oh, John,
This is
thank
what
you
I'm
so
talking
much.
about.
Yeah,
See, Jack, he likes to be called Jack, is a veteran himself.
Okay.
And he likes to see and promote these giveaways. He's not alone in that, but he's certainly one of the most vocal. And I certainly had you in mind when I started this. And so, yeah, we'll get these 2 out. This is the last 2 of that particular batch. I've got another batch.
There's more to come.
There's more to come. And yeah.
Yeah.
And they're always going to be off-lease business computers. They're always going to be about 3 or 4 years old, and they should have a good 3 to 4 years left in them. So, like I said, right until Windows 10 support ends, then you should be looking for another solution, or put Linux on it, or disconnect it from the internet, because when it gets to November of 2025, if Microsoft support ended in October of 2025, every month that follows, every day that follows, you become a higher likelihood of a target of identity theft, where it doesn't even matter if you click on anything. It can get to a point where just connecting it to the internet can result in having your identity stolen or ransomware installed after support for the operating system ends. So that's still 3.5 years away, and just setting your expectations accordingly. Let me set this down so we can clear some room on the counter. We'll talk about what's going on the counter here today. The folks over at Silverstone had a couple items I was very interested in, and I want to test these. These are M.2 enclosures, and I'll put links to them. We have the RVS03 right here, and the TS16 here. These will take any M.2, SATA or NVMe, and allow you to convert it to USB. How well do they work, and how easy are they to use? We're going to find out. But I need something to plug them into to test them. So I wanted to start the show by testing these. I'm really anxious because I love storage. But I don't have a computer really to test them in, at least one that has a modern USB 3.2, Gen 2, except for this board here. So this gentleman, his name's Jeff, he reached out to me. He's ordered machines in the past for me. And he said, you know that 12th gen you and Mitch built? I said, yeah, there's only one. He goes, would you sell it to me? Yes, please. Not that I want to get rid of it, but I'm always happy to sell a computer. And he goes, all right, how can we spec it out? So he talked, and we agreed that we'd put 32 gigs of RAM. I tried to talk him into 64, but he thinks he's going to be fine with 32.
This RAM?
We're going to use the crucial. Thank you. The Crucial Ballistics. I was thinking of that Trident G-Skill Crystal.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so the Crucial, this RAM was on sale. You remember I made a video and I told you guys it was $89.99 for 32 gigs of this Crucial, I almost did it again, Ballistics RAM. And it was a limited 3, and I got 3 of them, and they just arrived the other day.
Okay.
Even though, remember I said it was going to be like mid to late February was the estimated shipping, and Amazon, typically in my experience, they arrive much sooner than that. Well, I got mine in the mail, so Jeff's going to get a good deal on the RAM. After tax, it's about $100. That's a good price, 32 gigs, and it's I think it's 3200 speed, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Doesn't want any RGB, so we're going to throw in a 200R. Luckily, I was able to get some of those 200Rs when they were available over at Corsair.com. Remember, I made a video about that.
And they got snapped up.
Yeah, they got snapped up in 3 days. They were gone. So Jeff's getting lucky there. Those are about, after tax, about $75 a piece. I thought I had an i7 in this, but it's an i5. It's a 12th gen. There are three 12th gen chips that came out, which was the 12600, the 12700, and the 12900. The lower number is the i5, the middle number is the i7, and the high number is the i9. The good news about the i5 is, one, it's fast. Two, unlike the i9, the Mugen 5 never broke 71 degrees Fahrenheit after we tested it for 22 minutes on Prime 95. I was blown away. So Jeff won't have any cooling issues. We're not going to use the NVMe drive that's in here, but remember we did the RAID. If you look back a couple weeks ago, Mitch and I did a whole RAID overview. using 3 Samsung 980 Pro 1 terabyte drives. So Mitch, our job today is to take those 3 980 Pros out,
Okay.
take out the main drive, put one of the 980 Pros in there,
Okay.
and then the other drives will go back on the inventory shelf.
Okay.
So what Jeff's going to get at the end of the day is 32 gigs, Core i5 12600K on the Z690 Gaming X with the Scythe Mugen 5, a Samsung 980 Pro 1 terabyte. He wants a DVD reader writer in the Corsair 200R, and he's thinking about maybe adding a graphics card to it. So we're going to need about a 750 watt power supply. He prefers non-modular. He's afraid at his age, he's going to put the cables somewhere and never know where they are. I'm having that problem now.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm on board with it. And most of the time you want a modular power supply if you've got a window and you're showing off the insides. Well, this is a Corsair 200R. It's like a business case, and it's all buttoned up. There's no windows. And we usually just take the extra cables and we bundle them on the bottom of the case and strap them so they won't flop around in shipping. And it's just very, very practical, both for expense, for the ease of building, for ease of maintenance, and for ease of upgrading. It just, the minute you start adding all the flash is when you start adding all the cash. You can quote me on that. Mitch, I'm trying to talk, man.
Yeah, you're
Keeps
getting-
interrupting me.
It's your mouth isn't working too good today. Crucial, not yeah, crucial.
Are you saying the names of the parts is a crucial thing for
Is
me
a
to get right?
crucial thing. Yeah.
It's my first day with my new lips.
Ah,
Okay,
so there are 2 in here.
there should be 3.
Oh, 3 in here and 1 in here. So
Yeah.
okay,
So what are you waiting on?
this'll take the JIS. Nuttin' honey.
Is
I haven't-
JAS
I-
slang for something?
I haven't had one of those in years. Nuttin' honey. It's not this. No,
That's a
no.
Cheerios, isn't
Yeah, it's
it?
this one.
There you go. I think I missed a contribution. So will I put Mitch to work? Remember, lefties loosies, righties tighties.
I'm left-handed. Leave me alone. Ooh, that cracked. I didn't like to hear that. Just
No,
kidding.
no, that's fine. Why is my mouse not scrolling? I got to step back over here and figure out what's going on. I can't figure out how to use a mouse, so I probably shouldn't be doing any computer work. Maddie Wartinen contributes €5 from Finland. Hey, thank you, Maddie. Make sure Maddie is blue in here. Tom K with $2 says, finally Friday, guys. It is. Thank you. Thank you, Tom. Steve Warrington with $2 says, hey, you guys. What movie is that from?
I forget.
Goonies.
You're right. They're not 1, not 2, but 3. Let me put that screw back in.
Bob R. Let's see. I said that one already. And John Jack Wilson.
Take them out, sir.
Oh, let me grab the wireless camera.
Okay.
We'll get a close-up there.
Yeah.
Bob Connors contributed $15. He says, hello, Carrie and Mitch. Here's my early to video fee. I finally got here before it starts, and then I got to him late. See how that worked? Thank you, Bob, as always. And Stan Aristoff contributed £1.79. He says, happy Friday, Carrie and Mitch, and thank you. I think Stan was our first contribution today. Right on, Stan. Thanks for kicking us off. Sorry about the delay in getting to your, giving you credit for that. I apologize. I want to grab the the wire. Should I grab the wireless? I should just grab the wired camera. Maybe I'll shoot with the wired one today.
All right, there are muscles.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's a big, heavy camera, but you know.
Yeah. I'll tell you, chat, last night for good old Phoenix, Arizona, there was almost frost on the pumpkin. Did you say it was 37?
Was that some kind of a euphemism? Frost on the pumpkin?
I almost had to bring the brass monkeys in.
Wait a minute.
I'll tell you.
Are we even
that.
speaking English anymore? So you almost had frost on your pumpkin that almost required you to bring out your brass monkeys?
No, to bring in the brass monkeys.
Bring in the brass monkey.
It was.
Is the brass monkey a funky monkey?
Yeah, it was 37 degrees last night. For Phoenix, that's a bit much.
There's Thomas Backenstow. Thankfully changing the subject.
Okay.
With a $20 contribution. Thank you, Thomas, as always. DJ Lion contributes. I guess I can't speak today.
I better take over.
Would you?
Yeah. DJ Lion with a 20, is that Australian?
Yes.
Aussie, Australian. Every time I watch your channel, I want to upgrade my system. Amen. Last night I upgraded someone else's computer and killed it.
Whoops.
I gave them a guarantee, so I will now pay to have it professionally repaired.
That's not a bad thing. One of the best ways you're ever going to learn anything is by making mistakes and owning up to those mistakes and seeing it through. So ideally, you'll be a little bit more involved in the professional that you're paying to find out what they're doing to fix it, so you know what to do to avoid that in the future. It's like going to school, only this school, the lessons will stay with you for a much longer time. It's a really good school. It's the school of hard knocks. Over time, it can be an expensive school, but the lessons, they're from real experience, and the lessons will stay with you. When I make mistakes on camera in front of a few thousand people,
I like it.
I hope
all right.
I only make that mistake once because I'm embarrassed,
Okay.
and I want to make sure, at least on that thing, that I do that right from now on. Like on the back of that Nook, speaking of mistakes, on the back of the Nook we did, I didn't know what this port was. Let me grab it.
Okay.
Had to do I don't like to do any research on stuff, because in the reality of being a field service technician, you go out to a client's and let's see if I stand over here. No, you need to stand over there.
Here.
There you go. So we were building the Nook, and I didn't know what this port was right here. I thought it was like an old Thunderbolt, reminded me of an old Thunderbolt 2 port.
Okay.
That's actually what's called a mini display port.
And how did you find that out?
Oh, I just looked at the specs of the unit just to see what it was.
Okay.
So what that means is I can hook up, because I know you can hook up an HDMI. You see how there's like a lightning bolt between the USB Type-C connector and the HDMI? If this camera will focus. So I knew you can get a little adapter to go into the USB Type-C there and do HDMI out. Well, this thing will do 4 monitors, and I was trying to figure out how that would do that.
Huh.
But that little mini display port right there, you can get an adapter to convert that to HDMI.
Okay.
In fact, I ordered some on Amazon. As soon as I learned that's what that was, I ordered the adapter. I don't know where the 4th monitor would hook up. I guess from the front USB Type-C. And I guess you can go 4 monitors at 4K or something they were claiming, I think. Anyway, I will never get that port wrong again because I embarrassed myself. Because I didn't know it was there until I was looking at,
Okay.
live on camera. Like, what the heck is that? And I had to say something. But it's got a little unique little logo there.
Yep.
It's a D with a P inside of it. Gee, I wonder what that means. Display port. Okay, rocket science. So you can learn with me, and I'll take all the embarrassment my way. It's fine. It's part of the deal. Didn't kill me. See, I'm still standing.
Now you're going to have to turn that doodad on to make that work.
I'm thinking I'm going to
Better
plug
take
that
it
into
out.
a cable,
Oh.
so avoid that shuttering effect.
Oh. Going fancy schmancy.
Well, I'm
Very
going to go
good.
old school with it, because
Okay.
before we got this Wi-Fi transmitter, which was working great with the old video capture card, but with the new Elgato 4K capture card, it's shuttering.
Jaggies, yeah.
Yeah. And the reason I went to this was because when I was holding the camera like this, you see the HDMI output on this, for some reason, Canon decided to put it right inside of the camera strap. Makes it impossible to hold the camera with a cable plugged into it. So I thought if I got this, then I wouldn't have to be tripping over a cable, potentially. Usually a camera operator that's running a mobile camera has I don't know what the title is. Do you know? The person who coils up the cables and makes sure the camera operator, as they walk around, they coil up extra slack or they feed extra cable so the camera doesn't get pulled out of the camera person's hand. Well, in any event, I still realized I still can't get my hand in there. So it did solve one problem, which was tripping over the cable. So I went on Amazon thinking there's got to be some kind of a trigger base, and I ordered it, and yesterday the bottom broke out of it. And thankfully, the camera didn't fall and hit the floor. So that'll be in an Amazon review later.
Okay.
If we hear the doorbell, that'll be Amazon dropping me off a new trigger handle.
Nice.
Because that's what seats it onto the tripod.
Okay.
But I thought for today, honestly, I don't even need this. If I just go back to running the cable, I just have to be careful not to trip over it. Because we have a lot of cables across the floor here.
Okay.
But until I get the shuttering effect problem solved, we'll just go back to doing this the old way. And I'm going to steal this cable from here, from camera 2. And it should be a crystal clear, perfect picture. But my cable, for some reason, is all tangled up. Here, hold on for a second. You can see how prepped I was for today's show. I have to put the parts list together, too.
Now, you said you may put the old capture card in a streamer and the Jaggies may end, or you're sure the Jaggies?
Well, the first thing I want to do is they sent me a new
that's right,
streamer that's an upgraded version.
Yeah.
And I want to see if that resolves it. And if that doesn't resolve it, then I'm going to go to the old capture card, which is a 1080 capture card. Or a 4K capture card, we're not doing anything in 4K.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to see us.
Well,
in
I'll take it
4K.
back. I take it back. The camera's in 4K, but it's down converting. The capture card is accepting the image at 4K. And then I'm downsizing it. I'd rather downsize it than upscale it for quality.
This reminds me of my shoot last Sunday. The camera was that close. Everybody.
I bet it was a bigger camera, too.
Cinema red, baby. With
Yeah.
a $15,000 lens and a big square thing.
Well, that doesn't sound intimidating at all.
Yeah, no pressure.
Okay. So,
Then you gotta switch camera. Or I
yeah,
have
grab
to
the mouse.
grab the mouse. Okay. And go to
Go to camera 2 here.
that eyeball.
Yeah. And then click off the eyeball above it after you turn that one on.
Click off of this one, and you ready? Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
eyeball
go ahead.
above it. There you go.
Yeah. So, no, we're still getting the Jaggies. Look at that. Same problem.
Even hardwired.
So we know it's not the transmitter, it's the capture card.
Okay.
Okay.
Here, I shall spin so you can see we've got 3 beautiful 980 Pros, NVMe, 1 terabyte apiece, correcto? Yeah, right there, yeah, 1 terabyte apiece. 3, and then we got 1 in here, but we should remove those, and does that take a JIS?
Mm-hmm. It's fun working backwards, though. See, you have to understand, to do this for the camera, Mitch has to work backwards. It's very maddening, for me anyway, because if you were working on your own system, you wouldn't be working on it like that. You would have this, the part he's working on would be facing him.
Correct.
But then where would we put the camera if we did that? So I want you to, keep that in mind and throw us a little slack sometimes if we can't get the angle that you want, or if we're not doing it fast enough, or we're putting something in backwards. It's because we're working backwards, and it would be really nice if you guys would maybe take that under consideration. It's very difficult, and Mitch is doing a fantastic job. Those should pull straight out, just like your teeth.
All right, gold fingers. You've got a link to these, don't you?
Not yet. There's no links in this video yet. I'm gonna have to do that.
Well, not now, but you'll put links.
Sure. Yeah, that'll happen.
And then do you want me to remove this one or no? We're gonna.
I want you to put those screws back.
Oh. Just till it stops. Boom. No shakies today. I only had 1 8-ounce Coke. Right here? Yeah. Is that it? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What are you doing, Mitch?
I don't know. Isn't that where it goes? Or
No.
does it go in here? These 3.
Mm-hmm.
Just testing you. All right.
All right. That's where the heatsink's going to attach.
Oh.
The heatsink's bigger than the drives, right? Last I checked.
Where are my short eyeballs? Okay, here we go.
Just teaching critical thinking.
Yeah. Am I there? Am I there? Yeah, there we go.
That's better.
I'm missing one.
That's because you put it in the wrong thing.
Oh, that's right. Don't get technical. Okay, here we go. How about way up here? Yeah.
Don't get technical
Here
with
we go.
me. Suddenly we're R2-D2 and C-3PO.
Yeah.
And it fits. if I talked in bleeps. Sometimes I do. It's just the censoring button. Ian Gooch contributes 10 pounds. He says, hey guys, good to see ya. See, Mitch is working well. Right on. Look at that.
Now
Mitch.
what?
Go ahead and put the heatsink back on.
Yeah. Oh, the stickies stuck. Is that bad?
That's just thermal tape. Well, don't pull on the tape.
No.
Just there. That's how you do it. Thank you.
Ooh.
Oh, now you dropped the screws. See, I make it all look easy, don't I?
Yeah, where'd they get
Don't
to?
worry about that.
Okay.
Just go ahead and let's see the bottom of that first. Let's see how you've torn the tape. Oh, it's not too bad. So these little pieces that you have over here that's stuck to the cardboard, you know, this all doesn't have to be one physical piece. I mean, sure, it looks better, but no one's ever going to see it. But we don't want to just leave it there like you were about to. It serves a purpose. And I am not left-handed. I'm trying to hold the camera, but you see what I'm trying to do here? Actually, I think, can't tell which end goes where here. This end should go over here. So it's advisable,
There you go.
if we learn from what Mitch has done here, that when you take the heatsink off after you've removed the protective tape, that you would set this bottom side, or the top side down, so that does not occur. You can see we still have some of the tape stuck on this box where
that good
Mitch
enough?
set it. No, it has to be smooth. You see, the most important thing is that, and I think you've got it backwards, is that the tape is smooth. If one edge of the tape is higher, then it won't make contact on the lower side with whatever it is you're trying to cool. It's not a big deal. And furthermore, this stuff is cheap. You can just buy more thermal tape. But we want it to be smooth. Yeah. Just like new.
So I've got 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and I think there's probably another under here. But don't worry about that
Okay.
right now. Go ahead and set that back on the board.
Now I've forgotten, does it go towards the camera? Or is
Uh-huh. Yep. There you go. And just use the screws you've got for right now. Don't have anxiety about missing screws or drop screws. Just work with the screws you have. Once you've secured those, then we can go looking for anything that's missing. Because nothing's worse than having that set but not secured, and you start moving things around, and then it shifts, and then you lose the other screws that were in it. That makes it worse.
You've always had a screw loose, but we won't go into that.
Just
Okay.
one?
Yeah, all right.
All right, now, not bad for a nut.
Yeah.
And somewhere underneath the Lazy Susan probably is that screw. There it is. See?
Nothing like having a magnetic,
Personality.
yeah. Me, not you. All right. Ooh,
Wait a minute.
That is very,
Very magnetic.
what's that, thermal lock on it? That blue stuff?
That's called Loctite.
Loctite?
Mhm.
Just till it stops.
Look at the man focus.
Riveting. All right.
No, just screws, no rivets. Now you can take the other heatsink off.
You realize bending over this board at my age is.
If I had a nickel every time I heard that.
Come on. You're Lucy. Why aren't you Lucy? All right.
That's it. And then if we just lift this up and slide it out, and we're going to flip this upside down.
See, beautiful tape.
Yep. We're going to take that saber it and drive out. Perfect. So we're going to pop this drive out. I'm going to set it over here with the others.
Okay.
We'll take any of these, doesn't matter which one.
Okay.
We'll pop it into that slot.
You gonna do that with your left hand?
Yeah, I'm ambidextrous. Kinda.
Sound effects.
Are you a Foley artist
Yeah.
now?
Boom. Beautiful.
Let me feel that. Sure
Don't trust me.
It's not that I don't trust you. I want to make sure that my training is...
Yes, Padawan. All right. Okay. Now, what'll I do with those? No, don't say. All right. Oh, that goes back. Okay. Oh,
Remember how
this-
that goes back in?
Yeah. Right here.
Mhm.
That's as far as, yeah, I guess so, yeah. Just boom, just like that. I think so. Mm-hmm. Just a little smidge turn, smidge. We're going technical here. You want to check my work?
Let me check your work. Perfect, Mitch. So that was the, what do we have here? The Sabrent 2 terabyte. Hey, looks like I'm going to have drives to use for testing these.
Okay.
That's cool.
What next?
All right, I think I'm going to put this camera down. Go ahead and hit that eyeball on camera 1.
Eyeball on camera 1.
Yeah, that'll override.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Thank you. That overrides
Oh,
camera 2 here. And then I will turn this off. All right. Well, it looks like Tony had stopped in and is already on his way out. Didn't even see you in there, Tony. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for stopping by.
enjoy your Friday. I'm feeling like it's Ram time. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I agree. Great idea.
And what's the name of this again?
Crucial.
There you go.
You know, there's Crucial and there's Corsair.
Corsair,
And then there's G-Skill. And then there's Oloy. And then there's Team. Uh-oh, what'd I do? Hold on, we lost the signal, Mitch. Put it back on. You hit the keyboard.
Oh.
Hit the space bar. There.
I'm not doing so hot today.
No, I do that sometimes if I lean
So why don't
forward.
I cut towards me? All right.
Yeah, let's just end the day on a...
Yeah.
Let's just move the keyboard a little further for Mitch today. DK Lucas says, I love Toto's music, Mitch.
Me too. Since I'm
Luke Greenia says he wants one of those 980 Pros. Well, you're going to need a board that supports Gen 4. All right, let's take a look. Give me that. Give me this. I learned how to talk like that from my mother. That's what the RAM looks like close up. It's all black, no RGB. It's going to go in a mostly black board in a black case with a black power supply and a black cooler. Think we're going for a theme here? Okay.
bend around the plastic. Remember that.
It's like a genius tip. Where did you hear that? Did you come up with that on your own?
From a very short guy who I won't mention.
Yoda?
Yeah. Baby Yoda.
I don't see any tape. Baby Yoda. Grogu.
Okay, Grogu. I keep thinking Gogurt.
Gogurt?
Gogurt. Little baby Gogurt. All right, here we go.
I think of the baby alien from
Okay.
American Dad. What was his name? Rogu versus Grogu. All right, 32 gigs of RAM.
3200 speed DDR4.
Mm-hmm. That part's done.
Easy peasy.
So we got the drive in we want. We got the RAM in that we want. We're going to have to put Windows 10 on here. So I suppose we should do that. And we want to clean this drive because it still may have RAID information on it.
Ah,
Would have been smart for me to wipe that out before we started, but I wasn't even sure what we were going to do an hour before we went live here. That's why the video notes are empty right now. XRod666 with 10 bucks says, hello, Carrie. Hope all is well. It's all good, XRod. Thank you. Michael Blem with $20 says, I've been away for a while. Hopefully everything is good and life happens. It's true. Life does happen. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate your support and contribution. Same with XRod666. Thanks for helping keep us going over here. Now, I need a power supply in here that's going to be about 750 watts. I don't want to use a cheap one. I want to use a good one.
Okay.
And I'm going to step in the other room and look at a mountain of power supplies I have.
It's true. He does have a mountain.
It was a hill.
Yeah.
What'd I say I was going to use? 750?
750.
750. Oh, I got the perfect power supply for this.
So
It's heavy, though.
So you say. All right.
Oh, no. You'll see. Oh, it's heavy. Okay.
Bend with the knees. All right.
There goes my mic.
Ah. This is going to be a smoking machine.
You better not be smoking. How about that?
Ooh. Ah. G3. Try to get it to where you can see it. All right. While he's in there, I think I'll do some shoulder curls. Okay.
Don't hurt your back.
Yeah. My ribs. All right. Can I open it?
Yeah,
Can
please.
I? All right. All right. Here we go.
Michael Blem wants to know why we're not using Windows 11. Customer doesn't want Windows 11. Remember, we're not building this for us, and we're not building it for you. So we don't really see any reason. Well, let me rephrase. The customer isn't in the mood to try and relocate things like the control panel or items on his start menu that have moved to the middle. He's not really interested in relearning all that. He's got 2 other machines, and he'd like this to, oh, wait a minute, is that modular? Shoot. That's modular. That's not going to work. Can't use this. Hold on. This isn't what I thought it was.
Never mind.
But the customer will upgrade it to Windows 11. It's going to be it's still a free upgrade. It will remain a free upgrade. And when the time is right, maybe in a couple of years, and they're ready to do that, they'll do it to all their machines so that they're all the same. They don't seem to have any benefit to going to Windows 11. If there is a benefit to going to Windows 11 for a machine that is mostly used for, as I mentioned, browsing the web, sending emails, please let me know what it is. Why would you go to Windows 11? Does anybody have an answer for that? I've asked this question ever since the discussion of Windows 11 started. I just want to know why. And I haven't really heard any answers apart from some gamers. And this person is not a gamer.
Mark's all ready for the Mitch joke of the day. Do I have to say it this soon? I only have one today.
Okay. I
found
know I have an EVGA 750 here.
Chad, I like Windows 10. I'm used to Windows 10.
What's wrong with Windows 10?
I like it. It works for me. I haven't test driven Windows 11, but I've watched enough videos, and I'm kind of like, meh. So I'm old. I'm sticking to what I know and what works for me. And
But that's not the question, Mitch. The question is, if you put Windows 11 on your computer, any of your computers,
yeah,
what would you be able to do that you cannot do now? Apart from everything looking different and being moved around and some features being removed, what new features does Windows 11 offer you that would be a benefit to you? Name a single one. Go.
It's just an overcoating. It's just a paint job. There's no kind
It's
of.
got a couple features in it.
Yeah.
Do you know what they are?
Yeah, it looks like Apple. Shh, don't say that around here.
Well, you keep talking about the interface design change.
Yeah.
But there are features in Windows 11 that don't exist in Windows 10.
Okay.
Can you name one?
Yeah, I remember one, but I didn't take my ginkgo biloba today, so. So the mind.
They're so obscure and they're so specific primarily to gaming that even if you knew, you wouldn't care. You'd say, well, that doesn't apply to me. So here's what I'm going to use. This is the one I was trying to get. That one should be fully cabled and not modular. Solo says Windows 11 security. Windows 11 security isn't any different than Windows 10 security. That's a common misconception that Windows 11 is more secure. You can enable the same security in Windows 10 that Windows 11 is forcing you to use. It's just in Windows 10 it's an option, but it's not that it doesn't exist in Windows 10. So I'll ask again, is there any feature that Windows 11 it has that Windows 10 does not already have? That's all I want to know. I'm not asking whether or not certain features are enabled by default and take away your choice. Class? Anybody in the class have an answer? John Paul Bacon says Windows 11 will have support to run Android apps eventually. Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. Why would you want to run a phone app on your computer? Well, I can only think of one reason, and that is that you're an app developer and you want to test your app. Outside of that, it doesn't make any sense why anybody would want to run a measly, teeny little tiny app on a massively powerful computer. It is the most pointless exercise I have seen outside of the scope of being a developer. So as a developer, you want to be able to test your work as quickly as possible and being able to run your apps on the machine you're programming them on. Nobody writes their apps on the phone or the tablet. They write them on PCs. So to be able to test those apps is wonderful if you're an app developer. For everybody else, it's just, who cares? Why would you, unless I'm missing something, why would you want to run it's like, I like that I can put my Ferrari in a mode that it runs like a golf cart, kind of a thing. Like, why would you want to handicap it and cripple it in such a way? So, you can let me know your thoughts. Am I missing something?
Take two.
Take two of these?
No.
All right, documentation. It goes over there. Yes, this is cabled. No, this is modular. Oh my gosh, I'm just 2 for 2 today. All right, hold on. You know, this mountain of power supplies, it's gonna make me dig down deep, I think is what I'm gonna have to do. Solo says, people make things less secure by not being forced to be secure. How's that my problem or your problem? I know people that leave their keys in their car and don't lock the doors to their house. They want to live that way, that's their choice. Got nothing to do with me. Not my responsibility to go knocking on the neighbors' doors and ask them if they made sure everything's locked. Not my business, not my job.
Are you sure you have a non-modular?
I'm starting to wonder. I'm starting to doubt myself now.
He wasn't kidding, Chow, when he said he had a mountain.
Here's the thing. I thought for sure that...
That's an air quotes. I thought for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. I'd swear I had a couple of them. I didn't realize those were all modular. I thought for sure.
And you need one that powerful based on this chip?
Yeah, if he wants to put a graphics card in it,
Oh, gotcha.
we could do a 500 in there just fine. But the minute he throws a GPU on it, it's not going to be enough.
Right.
So I've got some 550s and some 650s and some 600s. I specifically wanted to put a 750 in there. Now I do have one here from Silverstone. I just don't, I'm assuming that it's going to be okay. I only have one. Is that right? Is there only one? It's very strange. I'm surprised, Mitch. I thought I didn't use those on another build because they weren't modular.
They weren't.
And I put them in a pile, and I thought I had them organized, but maybe we're going to go with Silverstone. Silverstone wanted me to test this power supply for them.
Okay.
And I haven't gotten around to it. And as long as Jeff will be okay with it, I'll talk to Jeff after the show. This one's already open. Go ahead and open that one. Well, let's show everybody what it is there first. The ET750. That one, I think, let's see if that's modular. I don't think it is, because that's their essential series, which means budget series. And usually the budget power supplies are not modular. WW Goddess of Truth says, I cannot send any super chats. That's between you and YouTube, but I get more of your contribution if you send it via PayPal or if you send an Amazon gift card. YouTube takes 30% of any contribution, and I won't see it for 60 to 90 days.
Take 3.
Sorry, 30 to 60 days. Let's see, what do we have? It's modular. It's modular, Mitch. I think. Wait, maybe it's not. Is it? I don't think it is. Hold on. It does. It kind of looks. Can you tilt the box a little more? I want you to see what I'm seeing. The way that's sitting in the box, the cables look like they're separated from the power supply. But I feel them, and they're all going in. So, and there's the screws. This is what I've been wanting. See, I told you. Smell that. Smell this. Does that smell right to you? It's got like an off-gassing on it.
Yeah.
How would you describe that? You want to hit?
How would I describe that? Steady now.
It smells like
Victory. No, that's Apocalypse Now. Okay, right.
that's the smell of burning electronics,
Yeah.
which is weird because this has never been plugged in or used. So maybe it's just a manufacturing.
Okay.
Do you see purple dots? That one almost hit me.
Yeah. Well, try it.
I can't stop smelling it.
Yeah, this may be the smoke test.
This is
Okay,
like the
yeah.
purple marker.
Yeah.
Take this away from me. Don't get anywhere near that. Spray it down or something.
So we're going to use it. This may truly.
Yeah, it should be fine.
This may truly be a smoke test.
Well, we'll test it outside of the case right now. We'll make sure it's
Right.
okay.
Can I take this big wire tie off?
Yes, please do. Have you guys ever built a Hackintosh? If you want a Mac, go buy a Mac. You know, why would I want to pretend to be something? Why would I want to cripple a PC? Hey, have you guys ever taken a really high-end car and then crippled it to be a low-end car? You should totally do that someday.
I've watched a lot of videos on how to do it, and suddenly I went,
You've got to use very specific hardware.
Where-
You're violating,
Yeah,
I believe
and
you're
I'm like-
violating the law, the DMCA.
and I'm like, yeah, this is too much
We
work.
won't do anything on this channel that constitutes any encouragement to violate, whether it's the DMCA or any other law, whether you like it or not, if you think it should be a law, because I don't like it, but I think it's a waste of time, personally. Apple does so many things to cripple their computers, I just don't know why anybody would want one. You know what it is? Apples are for people who don't really want to know or care about how computers work. So Apple has like guide rails, safety rails and stuff. That's the best analogy I can come up with. Like I can walk up a set of stairs without a railing. Whereas Apple wants to take you up the stairs and not allow you to do it yourself because you might hurt yourself. So I find the whole product line from Apple offensive because I understand what they're doing. But I see the appeal of it for people who have no interest in computers, to just have a computer that puts their boundaries up and only allows them to do certain things or install certain things and under certain conditions. You know, like the App Store, you need Apple's blessing before you can sell on the App Store. And it's just too communistic. It's everybody with Apple all gets the same thing, and everybody gets the same. It's all the same for everybody, and you all pay the same overpriced price. It's just, in my opinion, it's very similar to communism.
And my sister-in-law snookered me into getting a MacBook Air laptop.
Yeah, but you're not a developer. You're not a programmer. You're not an engineering type.
All I'm using is for surfing the web. That's all I use it for.
Right, and that's fine, and it's ideal for that because you're less likely to get viruses, although you still can. But if you wanted to do some things with it that you might want to do on a PC, it won't let you.
These are kind of stubby cables, if I must say so myself.
Well, you got it kind of tangled up there. Maybe untwist them. It is kind of short, though, isn't it?
It's a little. This one's a little.
Well, you know what? That doesn't go very far, though.
Okay.
That one only goes midway up the board.
Ah.
So that seems plenty fine, as far as I'm concerned. Nothing worse than having to cable manage super long cables. So I would prefer they were, you know, good for a regular ATX style case. I don't like how they've separated these out into 4 separate cables. This is usually the sign of a cheaper, well, this is a budget line power supply. Other power supplies, like if you grab that Aries game power supply down there, that $27.99 500 watt power supply.
This one.
Yeah, look at that power cable. See how it's braided? It's got a wire loom on it. Look at that compared to this. Which would you want in your system? I want that. As for the length of the cable, let's go ahead and put that power supply right on top of this one. I want to see the length of this cable. I think, I don't know what you were doing here with these cables, Mitch.
I got them all. Oh, I got them all.
Turn it the other way, so this cable's down here. Just flip it.
This way?
All the way. See what I want to do? I want to measure the length of the cables.
Oh.
They appear to be pretty well the same length. It's hard to tell. They're within an inch anyway. This power supply from Aries Game is $27.99. Although its 80 plus rating may be generous, but I don't care about that. But it's not enough wattage for us to use. But I just like the, you know, even the budget power supply has the
Sleeve, yeah.
the wire loom on it. It's just a nice touch. This power supply is a few months old. Silverstone may have changed this. I don't know. It's a minor little thing. You know, once it's installed and we cable manage it, we'll be able to stack these cables on top of each other, zip tie them. It's just extra work. Go ahead and grab that for me, and let's move it to the other. Let's see where we can put it. Yeah, let's put it over here. And then I will plug this in here. And
Where's the CPU? 8-pin over here.
and we have 2 8-pin CPU connectors. I like that they've included that here on this ET750. And we just put a keyboard, mouse. Oh, grab my power switchy thingy. He knows what I'm talking about. Somebody should. All right, which direction does this go on? Do you remember from my humiliation last time?
I do not.
Oh, well, you should be humiliated by it, then you won't forget either. These always go towards the inside, not towards the outside. The wires.
Okay.
Remember I had them on the outside before? And the system wouldn't turn on a new build, and I was like, uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Keyboard and mouse.
Not going to repeat that. Not today. Not today. Keyboard and mouse. There you go. Here's a keyboard. Here's a mouse. And let's make sure this power supply is switched off. And we'll put power to it, like so. Don't do that. That's not funny.
Okay.
That's 120 volts. I mean, it would be funny to everybody else but me.
Just wanted to test your reflexes. All right.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, you need a new hairstyle anyway. All right.
Kato.
Okay.
All right, that should be it. I think we're ready to test fire this bad boy. Do me a favor. Put on,
Oh, okay.
see it says HDMI input right here?
Is it this one? Yeah. It says HDMI. Yeah, input right here.
Uh-huh.
This one.
Yeah.
Eyeball.
Yep. But because that's below camera 1 and camera 2, turn off camera 2.
Turn on camera 2. Yes, sir.
And then take camera 1, click once on it.
On the eyeball.
No, on camera 1.
Yeah.
And
Click once,
Click
left.
once. Now you see how you, no, you click twice. Hit cancel.
Okay. Hit cancel.
Bottom right. All right. Now you see the red box that appeared? And it's got little square dots.
Oh, so just click once.
No, do you see the red box that
Yeah.
appeared?
Yeah.
Do you see the square dots?
Yeah.
Grab one of these corners.
Okay.
and put us in a corner. There you go. That's fine. Now grab the middle of the picture and hold the button down and drag that where you want it.
How about there?
Look at that, we're making Mitch a producer. All right, now I'll switch the power supply on and hit the power button. Fan is turning, power supply is running, fan is running.
Got a red light.
It's okay to point at things, avoid touching them while power's on. I don't want you to get a little zappy.
And you think there might be something on this drive?
No,
We
I
didn't
just think
rate.
it's set up as a RAID drive in the,
BIOS.
not in the BIOS, in the, it's like the, I can't think of what it's called. It's like the protected area of the drive.
Rough
So
week,
we'll-
rough week, huh?
Yes.
Been a tough week, all right.
Yeah, my brain stopped working a few days ago. Oh, did I plug this back in? Yeah, we're plugged in over here. So we got the RAM. Give it a minute to train the new RAM we put in there. We're getting some blinking red light here on the control, on the switch. There's our post. Okay, all right. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to scrub that drive while it's installed. I didn't really think this through.
Well, it's not that dirty. All right.
It might already be scrubbed. I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember yet whether we wiped them out.
Well, that's okay. Either way, we'll put Windows 10 on it.
Okay.
And then we'll check it after that. We'll check and see how it identifies. Should be in AHCI mode when we boot up. So I'm going to put the Windows 10 installation media here, and then go ahead and hit Control-Alt-Delete on the keyboard.
On this one.
Okay, and it should boot off the Windows 10 USB. You want something to drink, Mitch?
I'm good.
I'm going to get a new Gatorade. This one's getting a little warm.
Fiji water.
Fiji water he wants.
Uh-oh. I saw something, but it
What's
was so fast. Where's my spinning circle? Ah, there it is.
Don't scare me, Mitch. I'm easily scared today. I'm skittish.
Yeah. There you go. We're right there. Yeah. We really should.
Should we
get
mention the name of the product?
Yeah,
We're not getting paid.
Yeah, we really should get a plug. Fiji water.
Yeah, they could give me free Fiji water, and that would be like a month's pay for what that stuff costs.
Natural electrolytes. Okay. Enhanced agua. Very nice. All right.
I didn't know you knew Italian.
Yeah. Windows is starting up. Oh, okay. And you've seen this chat a million times. I don't have a product key. Yada yada. Windows 10 Pro. Second from the bottom. Click. Sound effects. Next.
Someone had their Wheaties today.
Yeah.
Oh, see now no drive appears. Okay.
Is that bad?
Well, that can happen. Like I said, this is, yeah, it's not, I should have gone in the BIOS and I should have just erased the RAID, and that would have
Okay.
wiped out that control area. I don't know the right name for it today. And it's not letting me reset. Oh, everything's going well. But you know, building the computer is pretty easy. I think this is the part that intimidates a lot of people, which is, what do you do after you built it? You got to install it. Well, normally if you're using all brand new parts, you wouldn't encounter anything like this. This is just a consequence of some experimentation we were doing with RAID, and I did not reset it. Again, I didn't know I was going to be doing this today until about an hour before we went live. So what I'm going to do here is make an attempt to
Go into BIOS.
yeah, make sure we've got RAID turned off in here. So let me click off camera 1 for a second so I can see what we're doing. And we'll go over to, I gotta remember where we were. I/O ports, BMD. We're gonna turn BMD off. And we wanna make sure the SATA controller is in the RAID. Let's see, NVMe says no device found. Well, that's not good. That's not good. Intel Rapid Storage Technology, we're going to turn this. See, it says RAID volume. That is, now I can delete the volume. See, but I should have done that on, see, now it sees the drive. That means the other 2 drives are going to be that way too.
Remember
But you don't have to do it this way. I could plug them. So, you know what? Now I have a reason to use those enclosures because I can run the clean command from the disk part utility in DOS,
Okay.
as I've shown in other videos, to force a factory reset on those drives. But it just would have been easier if I would have done it in the BIOS. But you know me.
Easy's not our middle name.
And then we'll go F10 usually, save and exit. Okay, let's try this again.
Now it'll recognize it,
Well,
correct? Oh.
if maybe. I'm afraid to say even that.
Yeah.
If you make a guess and you're wrong, the internet will make fun of you and tell
Okay.
you you're an idiot.
Ah.
But if you're right, they don't pay any attention. They're like, yeah, whatever. They're very difficult people to impress. It sees it now. All right, that should be fine. That's all I wanted. So now I can plug my Windows 10 USB drive back into the USB port there. And we'll restart again and we'll try Windows 10 one more time. See, we can all learn from Mitch's mistakes.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad you're here?
Yes.
I have to blame somebody.
Somebody. Come on,
I'm not going
Spinny.
to take ownership of my own actions.
come
This
on.
is 2022.
Come on.
We stopped doing that in 1993. All right, we're going to try this again. What do I do?
Next.
Then what?
Install now.
Then what? What's coming? You've seen this a million times.
I don't have a product key.
Okay, and then what?
Second from the bottom, Windows 10
Okay.
Pro. I don't have internet.
I don't have internet? That's not a
except,
question.
yeah.
Yet.
Next. Always custom.
Good.
And there it is.
Now we got to delete all these partitions
Okay.
because this is a used drive and we don't want anything from it. You going to sneeze? Looked like he was about to sneeze.
Yeah.
This is a Generation 4.
This
very
look,
fast.
Yeah, look how screaming. Yeah.
Oh, just wait. You ain't seen nothing yet. Okay, what have I been missing in the chat? They've been talking about us in here? That's all these people do is they talk about us. Guys can't talk about somebody else? All right, let's see. Alda Rivera says, I have Windows 11 on his laptop. No new features needed whatsoever. Even forget it's 11. Well, just everything's moved around. Windows 10 does not care about RAM. Still runs on DDR3. Is that a problem with Windows 11? I haven't heard that. David DeViller says, the main benefit for me running Windows 11 is learning the new interface. So come 2025, I'll be able to support it.
Yeah.
The interface can change a lot between now and 2025, but you know, if you're in a position of working in IT, I can certainly understand wanting to stay on top of things before your customers put you in a position.
You won't live that long, old man. So,
To 2025?
20.
Things aren't looking good.
Good.
What do you know?
How bad's that cough? Okay.
Maddie says, my brother-in-law was considering updating to Win 11, but I talked him out of it because I suspected it would have to provide additional support for it. Yeah, you would. Probably right. The Karanis says, I can think of a few reasons for running Android apps outside of being a developer, and then fails to even mention a single one. Okay, maybe further down in the chat.
Getting ready.
I know the answer to your question. What is it? I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
Well, thanks for your contribution of content. Jeff Ryman says, check your PayPal for a donation to help with the veterans bills. Oh, okay. Stop all the presses.
Okay, did the board shut off? Oh, there's...
It's still loading Windows. Let's see what we got here. No. David Coleman sent $10. He says, I'm feeling a bit under the weather, but I'm here. A touch of the flu, thankfully tested negative for the COVID. Well, I hope you start feeling better. Bradley Morris sent $50 Amazon gift card. Thank you, Bradley.
I can't remember the last time I had a flu, or the flu. I bet it was 20 years ago.
David Martinez sends a $50 Amazon gift card. He says, hey, I love your videos. Enjoy this Amazon gift card. Half for you and half for Mitch. All right, Mitch, so half of 50 is...
That's at least 3 wings tonight. All right.
$12?
2 wings.
Jeffrey Ryman sent $25. He goes, for the veterans giveaway builds, thanks for your help and the case badge. I finished my build in late December. It's a Gigabyte Z490 Aorus Elite AC motherboard using an i9-10850K CPU, 64 gigs of Corsair Vengeance LPX 3200 megahertz DDR4. It's got a Samsung 970 Evo Plus 1 terabyte NVMe drive using the Noctua NHD15 Chromax black cooler with a Be Quiet Pure Base 600 black mid-tower ATX case using the EVGA Supernova 650 GA 80 plus gold 650 watt modular power supply with a Pioneer DVR 2910 CD DVD writer. I love the details in his build. That sounds like a great build. Sounds very similar to something we built here.
And we're back to Windows. United States.
And then $25 from David DeVillers. Did I get that twice? What am I seeing? I'm confused.
So what else is new? All right.
What was I just reading? Who told me about their build? Who was that? David McGurran sent $13.06. He says, I'm looking forward to tonight's stream. Thank you. I am so confused right now. Where was all of the notes about? Oh, that was Jeffrey Ryman. I see what I did. So David DeVillers, Jeffrey Ryman. I got. Thank you guys so much for your continuous support of the channel here and enabling us to do more.
So let's get this Windows. Chop, chop. What a taskmaster. All right.
I can only move so fast. You.
I'm cracking the whip here.
What's the word for it?
United States.
Now I don't have internet.
Now I don't have internet.
And
Twice, yeah.
Perfect.
And click user, or yeah. Skip.
Actually, this isn't going to be user.
You can't go back, no.
Should be able to go back.
Hey.
Remember, I said I was building this for Jeff.
All off but location. No Cortana.
I'm like thinking it's going to be a minute, and it just keeps.
And it's quiet.
I'm not ready.
And it's whisper quiet even out of the box. So
Yeah, they certainly didn't say that about me. Terrell Cochran mentions that Windows 11 takes better advantage of the E-cores on a 12th gen chip. This is particularly true on a 12900, more so than any other of the 12th gen chips. It depends on how you use Windows. You may not notice it at all. More of in a production line type scenario, not so much a home user scenario, but it depends on the home user. We have a number of viewers to the channel that are extreme hobbyists, and they do not represent the average computer owner. And they come here, I guess, looking for more extreme hobbyist information when they seemingly fail to remember that I'm a practical tech. I don't deal with that stuff. The internet is filled with the hobbyists and extremists promoting opening the wallet and doing these extreme things. And people that are at that level, I feel, are serviced well here on the internet. But I feel that the beginners and the people that want to learn more are virtually ignored. And so I do my best to try and stay the course and not be steered away, although sometimes I get steered away with topics that I feel cross the line into extreme enthusiast hobbyist. And I just don't want to join what's already oversaturated here on YouTube. And in the meantime, all of those average, everyday, massive, like the masses of computer owners are just average folks who really don't care, right? And if I can get them to care just a little bit by showing this stuff isn't rocket science and not talking about impractical and expensive things, and I can win a few over, then maybe they will, on their own, seek that motivation internally to learn more and more to become an extreme enthusiast. So the extreme enthusiast should be all for what I'm doing instead of trying to convert me into more of what already is oversaturated onto the internet. You know, the people who create the content here on the internet are the enthusiasts, not the people who do it for a living. Very rarely do you see that. It's out there, but it's just not in it's not in abundance compared to the hobbyists. And so I hope that you'll value what I'm doing here is more practical and fits the everyday user, especially the intimidated everyday user. The minute we start bringing up virtual machines and Linux and all this other stuff, those folks, if I was one of them, I'd just turn off. It's more of the same crap. There's no shortage of that information. So I would like to provide here on this channel, it is my goal to provide technical information that applies to most computer owners in as much as possible plain English. And that if you're seeking information regarding the more extreme enthusiast stuff, custom liquid cooling and overclocking and all the stuff that people with a lot of time and a lot of money, typically younger people, where mommy and daddy are still paying for everything. And that's not meant as an insult. I wasted a lot of money on just stupid stuff when I was younger because I didn't have rent to pay or electricity. And there weren't cell phone bills back then either. But and then of course some people carry that forward as adults if they're fortunate enough to be able to have the money and the time to do it. But that doesn't represent the vast majority of computer owners, and that's who I'm trying to appeal to. That's all. So I just have no interest in doing what everybody else is doing online, and I don't like that the average computer owner is essentially ignored on YouTube when it comes to any computer information. Videos do exist for them, but they're very difficult to find. So I hope you'll understand that's why I'm resistant to some of the subject matter that's discussed in the chat room sometimes, that I might roll my eyes at it or I might just reel back a little bit because it's like, oh, everybody's talking about vanilla ice cream. I don't want to talk about vanilla ice cream. You know what I mean? Like I'll talk about anything but that because you can go literally anywhere else to hear that subject. And I hope that the content you find here is more digestible as a normal, average, ordinary, non-techie kind of person who owns a computer would simply like to have a little more control over it in plain English that's easy to understand, that isn't expensive or take a lot of time. How's that?
With that said, on with a bit.
I just feel like I'm misunderstood by some of the audience. Like I feel like they're not getting what I'm trying to do. All right, so let's take a look here at the final setup of Windows. We'll say maybe later on this, and I don't want the App Center. And now I can plug the internet into it. Go ahead and, oh, you're going to grab the internet?
Yeah.
I want the flash drive out of here. That's the Windows 10 installation media. We're done with that. We don't need it anymore. And we can plug the internet in. If we had the internet plugged in while we were installing, it would have forced us to create a, you know what, I'll get it. You come back over here. It would have forced us to create a Microsoft Online account. And there's nothing wrong with having a Microsoft Online account. It's just that I don't have one. I assume my customers don't have one. And I don't want to make one. And I don't want my account to sign in for my customer's computer. And I don't want to have to get to my customer and say, go ahead and create a Microsoft account and give me your login credentials. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all too much. So I create the offline account, and when the customer gets it, they can easily add their Microsoft account if they have one or if they want to create one.
Does this have wireless, this board?
Do you see antennas poking out the back?
I do not.
No, then it does not have wireless. It's usually something you can easily visually inspect on a motherboard. Not so much on a laptop or a phone or a tablet because it's internal, but those portable things, it's almost always assumed. If it's portable and it needs to connect to the internet, it has to be Wi-Fi.
Is this in 4K? I forget.
Right now it is not in 4K, but it probably will once it loads the drivers. Okay, so let me go back to the chat room and see what we're missing. Boy, I've fallen behind in the chat. Bob Connor says, in my humble opinion, there's no such thing as an app on a computer. There are programs on a computer. There are apps on a phone. I don't know that that's a industry-wide consensus, but I see where you're going. If we asked for the definition of an app and a definition of a program, I'd be hard-pressed to tell you the difference. John Paul Bacon says, Carrie, there has been a few times when I was on the OfferUp website with my PC and to do a purchase, I had to verify my payment option, and the only way to do that was with the app. But that's a development issue with that specific site. That has nothing to do with justifying. I'm not even sure how that would even work on a PC, to be honest. Like, I don't think you're going to get SMS on the PC. That's just not going to work. If you're using a service, let's take that for example. Let's say I'm on OfferUp, and there's something I want to buy, and it tells me I've got to use the app. I would think, my first thought would be I'm not using the site correctly. And my second thought would be, who designed this? It's really terrible. There should not be a PC interface if an app interface is required to complete the purchase. That doesn't make any sense to me. Because of security reasons, I wouldn't want Zelle on my PC. I just wouldn't want it. Some things just belong on the phone. But a poorly developed website to me is not an excuse for me to have to accommodate their poor programming. I would shop somewhere else. Okay, so we're downloading. So what else we got in the chat room? Why a non-modular power supply? If you rewind the video, I explain that. Icarana says, my smart AVR doesn't have a proper web interface. So here we go again. We're talking about poor development. We're talking about you guys are willing to spend your time and money to accommodate, rather than switch out the manufacturer of the device. You'll live with it and go out of your way to make it work to your needs. That's poor development. You should never, ever have to bend to the will of the technology. That's bad tech. And there are other competitive products out there and other competitive websites, besides OfferUp in this example, or other audio-video recorders that don't have such a limitation. This is usually the result of trying to save money. So you're going to spend all this time and effort and potentially money to get the app to run on the PC so that you can save money by using whatever service or product you have that was so inexpensive. It was so cheap that they couldn't afford to pay a developer to write the app or to write the program to work through the PC interface properly. So these things go hand in hand. You won't find that on, in my opinion, industry standard products. This is where you're starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel. And if you scrape the bottom of the barrel and you want to spend a lot of money so you can buy a shovel, it just seems misappropriated. You could have put the money towards the better product and never had that problem. So that's awfully specific. It's like writing apps. So if somebody says, well, I have a few examples where running apps on a Windows 11 computer would be beneficial, and they're mentioning a very specific manufacturer and model of AVR, how many people, there could be 30,000 people that watch this video, Mitch, how many of those 30,000 people will also own that same AVR? How many of those 30,000 people are trying to buy something from OfferUp, and in order to complete the purchase would need to put the app, they would want to put the app on their PC? Who would do that? Out of 30,000 people, how many people do you think, even if they knew they could do it, would do that rather than just doing it through the phone to begin with?
Yeah.
It just, again, I'm trying to appeal to the mass computer owners, not to the people that are digging in deeper than they have to for no other reason than because they can, and what they do is unique to them, and there's nothing wrong with that. I have no problem with that. I love individuality. But if I made a video talking about, I'm going to have to think of something here. Something that was very specific to being my age, my gender, and my height and my weight. How many people do you think that would appeal to? If I talked about what chair? Oh, I got one. Couches. When I go shopping for a couch.
Okay.
Oh, you ready for this? Where's Nutty? We got to go on a squirrel moment.
Yay!
Here we go. Yay! When I go shopping for a couch,
Okay.
it is the most difficult, painful process because most couches, the cushions are set too deep. So if I sit all the way back with my back against the cushion, I'm 5'4". So if I sit all the way back, my feet don't touch the ground. So when I shop for a couch, they had a word for it, but it's like a shallow, I can't think of what the salesman called it, but there was a word for it.
Tiny.
How dare you?
We have to restart? I don't know.
Yeah, it's waiting.
Oh, it's got the.
Well, it's still downloading
Yeah.
the cumulative, but we can restart it. So the cushion has to be more shallow so that I can sit and bend my knee and have my back hit the cushion and have my feet straight down.
It's kind of the depth.
The depth of the couch.
The depth of the couch has to be shorter than your standard.
It doesn't have to be, but if I'm going to drop 1,000, 1,500, whatever onto a couch, I don't want my feet dang. First of all, it's not good for you ergonomically. Right. Secondly, it looks ridiculous, and it's not very comfortable to have the pressure on my calves rather than my knees. That my knees bend, my calves don't. Now, if I go find the couch and I find a manufacturer who makes these couches, should I make a video specifically about a leather reclining couch that has a short depth cushion for people who are 5'5" or under, maybe 5'6"? I'm not quite sure I guess it depends if you're all legs or not, but suffice to say, if you're somewhere around mid 5'5" or shorter, you're probably not mostly legs, probably. Should I make a video to that, and how many people would find that interesting? So if I'm going to make content, I want to make content that's going to appeal to the widest audience possible. It's no different than a virus writer wants to write a virus for the Windows platform more than the Linux or Mac platform, although the viruses do exist on Linux and Mac, not as many of them because there aren't as many people to infect. So if you want your virus to have the most impact, you go to what is mostly used. And if what was mostly used is Mac and Linux, then you aim for Mac and Linux. It's not an insult, it's just you want the biggest target. And it is what it is.
Hey, there's Marty.
All right, so hopefully I cleared that. Did I clear that up? Is there still some confusion? because I can elaborate on that for another 20 minutes. Where was I in the chat room? I've lost my space. Taco says, in 30 years' time, this channel will be even better. Why is that?
I'll be 110. All right.
You're 80 now? You look good.
Yeah. Clean living. All right.
John Paul Bacon says his Android small screen. That would be a reason for wanting to run the... You know, you can plug your phone into your TV. In fact, a lot of Androids have, don't they have Mirrorcast? You just cast it right out. You don't even have to run a wire.
Right, Chromecast.
You can just get a little USB-C to HDMI adapter. I think I've got one in here. Do I have one in here?
Throw it up there on the TV.
Yeah, just plug it into the HDMI port. It's like an $8 cable. Where is it? Right here. Check this out. Let me grab a phone. Let's grab a phone. I need to run apps and go to Windows 11 and relearn where everything is. And all I have to do is plug in a cable. Or set up Mirrorcast if you have a smart TV. But if your TV is not a smart TV, just grab your phone, grab one of these USB-C to HDMI cables. We'll plug that in like so. I'm going to steal this HDMI cable. Okay, let's grab that. And let's plug it into the phone.
And show all your personal details. Here we go.
It's your phone.
Oh, it is. No.
All right. Now I should be able, so I get a notification on the phone.
Okay.
Welcome to Samsung DeX. What do I need this on my computer for? I don't understand what people are talking about. It's like they have the easiest solution right in front of you and it doesn't require you to learn anything. So I'm totally baffled. There's my desktop. There's my phone. What's the big deal?
Pretty sweet.
Anybody else?
How much is that cable?
I think it's like $8 or $9. This is an Anchor USB Type-C to HDMI. I can put it in the video notes. It's not a big deal. This is nothing.
Right, and boom, it's right on your...
So now you're going to buy a new computer because it needs to support Windows 11, so you can do this on your computer. You've had a computer in your hand the whole time.
Yeah.
I want my computer to run on my computer. Doesn't make any sense to me. All right, so try again. What else you got? Here, I'll give that
I
back
want
to
my MTV. Does that date me? All right.
Let's see what's Mitch got for pictures on his. Oh, I'll never unsee that.
Yeah.
Hey, those are me.
Okay.
Did anybody in the chat room not know that you can do that with your phone? Is this new information? And I'm just serious because, like I said, I like to make information available to people, everyday ordinary folks.
I knew one of those $35 Chromecasts, that you would get, you plug in, and yeah,
You should be able to do it right from the phone.
Right.
You should be able to do Mirrorcast from your Android phone to your smart TV with no added nothing.
I don't have Android. I love Apple.
I don't know anything about Apple. I can't tell you. I don't know if Apple's got it. I assume they would, but I don't know.
No. I know nothing.
Marty Yoel contributes $10. He goes, I just got home from the smoke shop. Stan Ristoff with £4.49 says, I watch your videos because they're very entertaining and can always learn something. No one knows it all. Thank you, Carrie. Jenny Warwillow contributes £10. Thank you, Jenny. And Marty again with $10 says, hi, you and chat.
Saying hi to
Saying.
Hi to you too. And Nothing, JK.
Just kidding. Okay, we'll translate that later. Let's keep going. Thank you guys for all the support. Thank you, Marty. Where was I? I was somewhere in here. Make the couch buying video. That'd be like a 4-hour video as I walk into furniture store. When I bought my couch, I saw the couch I liked right away. And I said, there might be something better. And then further went on for the next 2 weeks, going furniture store to 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 furniture store, and said, you know what, that first couch was the best one. I went all the way back and hoped they still had it, and they did. And I've had that couch for 15 years, and now Jimmy sits on it, and his talons have cut into the leather. It's time for another couch. I kind of want it reupholstered, but it's going to be hard to find another leather reclining, shallow, sort of whatever the word was, short depth.
Was that real leather or leatherette?
Real leather.
You're positive about that, yeah.
Oh yeah, it wasn't bonded. Bonded
Right.
wouldn't have lasted that long. And they said you're supposed to use this leather conditioning. I never did that, never.
Not with a dog.
Well, especially with a dog. All right, let's see, where was I? Back in the chat. Oh, it looks like Anthony Remus Computer Solutions was in there. I don't know if he's still in there. Missed him.
He's in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Not Matt says offer up is the worst. I don't use stuff like that. Cowboy Rowdy said he sent an Amazon gift card. Hey, Cowboy Rowdy, thank you for that. Jenny Warwillow says, thank you, Carrie, for all you do. I'm helping my son build a computer. You are a great teacher. That's awesome, Jenny. It's a great way to bond with your kids. I wish my parents were threatening to take my computer away. Let me tell you my story. Get out the violins.
The world's smallest violin.
It's true, though. It's true. It was very traumatic.
Your Commodore 10? Or was that 5?
I had I couldn't afford a Commodore 64. I got
Oh.
the Commodore 63.
3, okay.
No, I had an Atari 400. I had a TRS-80 Model 1 back in the day. It was used. It was $450 used in $1982.
Had to deliver a lot of newspapers.
It was
for that.
all newspaper money.
How's the ribs, Mitch? Good, Andy. I mean, I just went here Wednesday for a 1-hour motorcycle ride through Fountain Hills. It was a little chilly, but it gave me a chance to wear my very tough-looking black motorcycle jacket, which I liked, and no pain. And again, every day it's less and less, and I think here by the end of February that'll be 8 weeks, and that's kind of what the doc said, between 6 and 7 weeks for broken ribs to kind of heal up, and it'll be back to riding that bike. I like it. Just for this year, and then next year, that's it for me. I'm out. 2 years, I'm getting rid of the bike.
He says that now. We're going to remember this.
Right, yeah, so.
I can cast my iPhone to my Samsung TV, says Ricky B. I figured you probably could. They're pretty similar. They're just the way that they do things.
Yeah.
Is
Is that big Windows thing that it's downloading? I can't see the
I
screen. so
think it's
small.
waiting on a restart.
Oh, okay.
I'll get to it in just a second. I just wanted to get through the
You caught up.
XRod666 with a $10 contribution. Carrie, have you thought about bringing Cooking with Carrie channel back? I want to. I've got so much work to do. I just don't have time right now, but I will bring it back.
He's got a very nice chef's hat. That's about that.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to fit. My head's getting too big. Tim Teal says those after mints are really good. Thanks for the recommendation. Did you try one of those?
The green ones?
The After 8? No, those are Andes.
Oh.
The British.
Ooh, yeah, you gave me one last week, I think.
Where did I put
Quite
them?
pungent.
Pungent. They're palate cleansers.
Oh, yeah.
They're like an after dinner.
Between meals to cleanse the palate when you're
Not
on to
really
the next
after
course.
dinner. It's when you have your aperitif.
Okay.
Right?
Well, aren't you hoi polloi?
Well, I think they have the McAperitif at McDonald's. Something.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm just making stuff up right
Okay.
now.
Is there anything left?
Yeah. So each one is in a little
Baggie.
pocket.
Oh.
It's
Ooh.
very British. You want some tea with it,
And a crumpet.
and some fish and chips, and maybe
It's strong though. It is quite
it's very
strong.
very
Square.
potent. You wouldn't want. Most people wouldn't want
Right.
more than one. It's just the right amount. It's yeah. These are the After 8. It's kind of like Andes mints. Now they have York peppermint patties that are thin, but these are like really super strong. And so,
Not overpowering.
and if we go to, if I go to the bigger screen here so I can see, we should be able to hit restart here. If I could see my mouse. Okay, well let restart, and then so here's what it looks like,
Very thin.
and then the inside of it is all that minty goodness. We're gonna have good breath for about half an hour.
What do you mean we? All right.
This will take care of it.
Okay. I didn't want to say. All right.
So you just offer me.
Yeah.
That's how you politely.
Yeah,
Would you like it after 8?
yeah,
I don't think so. No. Would you like?
Yeah, have one more.
Rude.
Yeah, okay. All right, now did it, oh, it's doing its thing. Or as we say, it's thang.
Those are tasty.
Yeah. But expensive, right?
No, they're not that expensive.
Boy, that loaded quick.
That wasn't too shabby.
Check to see if we got any more updates.
First of all, this is in 4K now, so we'll go back to display settings now that we've got the driver loaded. Maybe we'll drop that down to 1920 by 1080. It should be right there. And now we'll check for more updates. Checking for updates. All right, now go back to the other screen. Okay, let's go back to the chat room.
Oh, you got a couple more left.
And it gets stuck in your teeth, so it's like still mintiness.
Yeah, well, you can pull those out and clean them later, all right?
Put them in the jar.
Yeah. Glass of water.
Where was it? Carrie, do you invest in the stock market or save money? I have a ton of investment into this channel. And I keep telling Mitch I have to stop buying. I get these savings alerts. And I'm like, oh, I better get that, and I'll use it in a video. And you almost cannot walk anywhere through Studio B. I mean, I am neck deep in computer cases and power supplies. The stack of SSDs I've got, oh, these are on sale, I better use them, better get them. And I pass that savings, when I sell the systems I build, I only charge what I pay for the parts. So it's good for people that want to buy systems from me. They get really good deals. But I have bitten off way more than I can chew. If I don't buy another thing, computer related, for the rest of this year, I have enough work here just to keep me busy for the rest of this year. And so how many times have I told you? I said, this is it, Mitch. I'm not going to buy it.
I think I recorded it twice, yeah.
I said, I'm done. It's just, and then something goes, and I tell Mitch, okay, this is just this one last thing.
Yeah.
Then there's a reason for it. I needed it to finish these other builds. Like it's totally justifiable. And then something goes on sale, and I'm like, oh well, I better just get one.
Yeah, you and Etsy. Is it time to restart?
Oh,
I can't
well,
tell.
Etsy, now I needed the stuff on Etsy.
Yeah.
Recently just bought I had to buy some packages aren't getting delivered here. I don't think they can find the address. So I went on Etsy, and there's a multiple sellers, but one seller makes a laser etched, really nice address. And the address, I want to mount it underneath the porch light.
Gotcha.
Because it's
Yeah.
it's over the garage, and it's dark, it's black, and the garage is, the wood is painted like a really super dark brown.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it's painted at the curb, but it was like 5 years ago, so
Right.
it's all faded out. So I figured if I just get this and mount it underneath the porch light, it's by the front door and people can see the address, and it looks really nice. See, I totally can justify, I needed this.
Yeah.
And where else are you going to get a custom-made laser etched to match the address of your house?
Right.
You're going to go to Home Depot and find that? No, you got to buy the little individual stickers.
No.
I'm not doing that. Come on, it looks like crap.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's something I only have to buy once. It's done. No more Etsy, no more stuff from Newegg and Amazon. I need to start saving money for the house in Michigan. But I do have a new Dell laptop coming, but I really needed it. Oh, and then I had to get a couple new appliances.
Yeah.
But I needed them. How often do you buy them?
Right. Right.
You're agreeing with me.
Yeah, no.
So you're enabling me. You realize
Well,
that.
and every
You should be
couple-
chastising me.
Well, and every couple of years, my dad would have me come over and do like you said, out at the end of the drive, the stencil with his the street address.
Yeah, there's
With
usually
the
somebody comes by and they'll put a note on your
Your
door.
door, and
I haven't
then-
seen anything
Right.
like that in years.
So-
but it's not enough. Like I
so-
need a delivery
yeah.
driver, UPS,
Yeah.
FedEx. They need to be able to see the address.
Yeah, so he would buy the stencils and the white paint, and you'd spray the square, and then we'd put the letters in the black, and it would last even in the blazing Phoenix sun. Good 3 years, something like that, and then it was time to do it again.
Stan Harrishoff says, like the Lindt chocolates. Oh, Lindt is my favorite. Milk chocolate. That's my favorite. Luke Greenia says, Carrie, I'm still super happy with the Musidex build. It's running flawlessly.
There you go.
Why would you expect anything less? No, I appreciate the update. XRod666 says, I finally got my 3080 today after a year of waiting and a computer with no GPU. After 8 mints are £1 a box, and I can eat a whole box easy. They're very Moorish. Some people are into that. It's a little overpowering for most people.
Yeah.
Ophelia says, I prefer After 8s as well. Other off-brand things tend to be too sweet and not minty enough. Agreed. Stan says the After 8s are nothing special, but I like the Walker's potato chips in the UK. You can get them anywhere. Oh, those smoky bacon.
Yeah. I wish you wouldn't have brought that up. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Man, when Carrie gave me just two.
Just two.
You can only have two chips. And I'm like, I must have more of those. That was great.
Craig Lately says, I'm looking forward to you bringing back Cooking with Carrie. Yeah, well,
Yeah, you don't need eyebrows. Okay, so.
overrated.
Yeah.
Stan says, my father used to take the power cable of the PC when he did not want me and my brother to stay up all night on it. Kevin Smith says, I'm surprised the streaming PC on the desk is not in the Nuka-Cola case. It would match the channel since you love Coke. That's still sitting over at Studio A. I was going to change the fans all out to Noctua fans, and I just never got around to finishing it. But I had Windows on it and everything. It works. I just haven't finished it.
Love that case.
Adam Sleep, a $50 Australian contribution, says, to me, Carrie is the Bob Ross of the PC world. I'm 51. Peace and love, people. I did the Halloween episode of me dressed as Bob Ross. And
That went down like a lead balloon. All right.
yeah,
No, I liked it.
I had fun. That's
Yeah,
all
I liked
care.
it. So.
Why? Maybe I wanted a lead balloon. You shouldn't judge. Maybe I didn't want a balloon to go up in the air. I like my balloons to stay low.
You used your lower register voice, and I kind of thought that was very...
It was very calm and everything was happy. And just happy little mistakes.
That beard was driving you crazy, though.
It was a little
Yeah,
scratchy. Dr. Bill with a $5 contribution. Thanks, Dr. Bill. Oh, Dell has, someone's mentioning the Dell laptop, John Lewis. Check this out, Mitch. You got to see it. Let's go over to this computer over here. This is crazy. Let's go to Internet Explorer. Oh, wait, this is Edge now. Let's go to the Edge. What is this? Welcome to investment. Stay up to date by bringing in your browser data from other browsers. No.
Bye-bye.
Make Microsoft. Jeez, they're just. When did they get this annoying?
Well, that's new.
All right. All right. So Dell laptop. I gotta find it. Laptops. Is it an Inspiron? Those are usually the budget ones. Look at here. An Inspiron 15. Look at the prices.
Okay.
$279.99 for a brand new laptop. $299.99. Brand new laptop. Now, granted, that's a Celeron and that's a Pentium Silver 329. These are laptops. You're getting a power brick, a monitor, speakers, keyboard, the touchpad. You're getting a whole computer, portable computer with a battery. Starting at $279, brand new with a warranty. Granted, it's only got 4 gigs of RAM and 128 gig SSD, but you could probably upgrade that 4 gigs of RAM and that 128 gig. I would bet you it's real easy. I was eyeballing this one for $299. I was like, that seems like a heck of a deal. I don't need it though. You got to take my credit cards away from me.
I could get rid of my MacBook Air.
Please.
Yeah. That I don't know how to use. Okay.
Oh, you sound like a typical MacBook Air user.
Yeah.
Well, there goes my 2 Mac user viewers. All right, so anyway,
Good deal.
Intel N series. What if we want a regular Intel series?
Okay.
Core i5, let's say. Let's go with the baseline Core i5 with a tiny bit of RAM. Will it sell it that? No, see, it switched it to an i3. Okay, i3's fine. Okay. How much is that going to cost? $350. $350.
$350. Yeah.
For that's a heck of a deal.
15-inch screen? Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what the 15 is in the model. Inspiron 15. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So I was excited at $299, but then I saw they had $279. That's just, wow. The technology's getting cheap. Randall Hill says, I got a $3,000 credit line with Dell and I've been eyeballing those laptops. That SSD and memory may be soldered in. It may be. I'd have to buy one to figure it out. I would imagine, you know what, let's take a look and see if it says anything about it. If we go back here, tell you what, let's turn off camera 1 so everybody can see everything. Let's go full screen and let's take a look about. So Inspiron 15 3000 laptop. It usually says if it's upgradable. Tech specs. Okay, that's the memory and there's a little info button. Oh, that's not going to help us. Wi-Fi, battery, operating system, thoughtful design. Look how thin it is.
Yeah.
SD card reader. All right, let's take another look. I don't know what the specific model is, but let's just say we wanted to upgrade RAM SSD on Inspiron 15 Celeron. Well, before, what was the other one? It was a Pentium something.
Yeah.
I'll just type Pentium. Dell Inspiron 15, 5,000. Let's just do a search on the 3,000 because that's that line of laptops. Yeah, doesn't look like it's soldered in. So you could do this kind of research before you buy a laptop,
Yeah.
obviously, and make sure you could get more specific than just the range of series, but the actual specific model. But it looks like they're all upgradable. Inspiron 15 3000 is currently one of the best-selling models among Windows-based laptops. Regarding system memory and hard drive upgrades, the 15 3000, or more precisely the 3543, 3542, and 3541, is very user-friendly. To access RAM and hard drive, you just need to remove the plastic cover on the bottom of the chassis, just like I showed with my XPS,
Yep.
which is what I assumed. I could have wrongfully assumed it, but there it is. Okay, so getting back to this, let's close that window. Did we do all this? We checked
I think
this?
so.
Let's run, do me a favor, plug in the utilities. Let's run Uncle Carrie's Windows 10 Optimizer on here. Open this. Drag that out. Close, close, run, and apply. And while that's running, I'm going to get rid of this little thing down here. It bothers me. And then we'll restart. Now, that's fast. Okay. Let's see what our boot up time is on this now. And as soon as I see the post screen, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
About 10 seconds.
Not too shabby. Hey? Is it a goer? Hey?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Know what I mean?
Very nice.
Does it go, eh?
It goes.
A wink is a nod. A wink is good as a nod to a blind man, eh? Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Huh? Say no more. Say no more. All right. Now we get to test these enclosures, but before I do, is it time for the joke of the day?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Why is this not going full screen for me? Wrong keyboard. There it is.
You ready?
Wait, I have to find the joke book. Oh, you're going to use your own joke?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready. Hold on.
Here's your joke book, yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
Now, my friends, where is he? I want to block him. Now, my friends, it's time for corny joke of the day. Let me think. Okay. Why are windows very bad at lying? Because you can see right through them. Nutty gives it a thumbs down. Okay.
Liddy's flipping for that joke.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, yeah, so we can do the enclosures now, yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I know that. That's why I said that, yeah.
I know you know that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Are they different? The RV versus
Yes.
the TS?
Mm-hmm. That's why they have different names.
If you say so. All right.
Well, I didn't say so. That's what it
They call
says. I'm just telling
Which one do you
what
want
it
to do
says.
first? Eeny,
I don't
meeny?
know. Which one should we do first? Should we take a vote? So the folks over at Silverstone very kindly sent these to me, mainly because I asked. But, you know, I have this unhealthy fascination with storage. This one looks pretty nice if you want to enclose a drive permanently.
Okay.
This one I think would be great for a techie person like me where you can keep switching drives out
Yeah.
without having to keep, assuming that that's what it looks like, that there's no lid to it. that it's intended to be, you know, to have drives pulled out and installed, removed, et cetera, as needed, which would be ideal for me, especially since before, when these initially came out, they were either for SATA or for NVMe, and you had to buy the right enclosure or it didn't work. These should work either way. So I'm really curious about this one.
Okay.
This one is the one that I would use as a techie tool.
Okay.
So you want to open it up for me? We've got some tape here on the sides. Let's get a close-up of the box. 10 gigabit per second USB-C 3.2 Gen 2 to NVMe or SATA M.2 SSD. It's tool-free. It's an external, what they call docking station. There's the QR code for more information. And more specification. There you go.
Leadman70 says that joke was a pain in the glass. I kind of like that.
You should have been on that, Mitch. All right, where's Patrick Rousseau's joke book? Since we have a few minutes to kill, Mitch is playing with a knife.
Yeah. Step
There we
back.
go.
Step back.
Let's see.
Okay.
Well, these are knock-knock jokes. Yeah.
You're blocking my beautiful profile. All right.
These are pretty painful.
Yeah, you know you can't read, so it's just, it comes with documentation. And I'm all fingers today.
This
All
joke
right.
book comes with documentation?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to say any of these out loud. They're horrible. Wow, there's a whole section on expelling gas.
Alrighty then.
Because that always is funny.
Yeah. Well, give me the book, I'll give you the thing. I'll swap you.
But I was going to tell a joke.
Oh, okay.
The best views in Paris are atop that famous tower. You certainly get an eyeful. An eyeful. It's an Eiffel Tower. And when you're up there, you get an eyeful. All right. Eyeful. Yeah, I'm just going to burn this book. What's in the box? What do you got? I wasn't paying attention.
You've got a cable,
USB cable, that's critical, that's good.
and then you've got, I don't know why they only give you 2 nubbins instead of 3.
Well,
but
I don't know
looked
why they
and-
give you 2. We should only
Okay,
need 1.
1.
Let me bring this up to the camera so people can see it looks exactly as it does on the box, which is, as me as a tech was hoping, so I can get in and out of it real quick. If I got to recover data from a dead motherboard, something like that, or clone an NVMe to a larger NVMe for a customer. It's got a rubberized bottom so it won't slip all over the counter. I like that. And then this is what Mitch is calling the nubbins. These are just little rubber nubbins.
That you can shift,
Yeah, they can be
depending on the
moved around.
size of your NVMe.
But I'm always using 80s, so I don't know what the
Right.
extra one is for. But once you, oh, that must be a power button to turn it on and off, I guess.
Ooh.
Yeah, look at that. There's a activity LED there and a power button, and then your USB-C connector here, and your model number and such on the side. Is it going to focus? There it is. All right, so that's the size of it. That's my hand. There's an extra nubbin. Now you got me calling it a nubbin. I don't know where this is supposed to go. There's no room for it once I put a drive in here. So here's one of the Samsung 980s. This is a Generation 4 PCIe NVMe, and we should be able to slot that in. It'd be great if I could do it without covering it up.
Solo says they're rubber dampers. That sounds about right.
Sure, we'll go with that. And then you can probably just bend that back, I'm guessing. Or not. Oh, you know what? Maybe you put it in here first? No, you put this piece in first. Were there instructions? Well, I'm not reading them.
There are many pictures, so you would like it. No, just kidding.
I like pictures. Yeah, so that's all I had to do is bend it back. So no tools as advertised. I just bent this piece back, and there's a little groove in it. You just got to be careful when you insert it that you don't stick it into the second groove, or it doesn't leave you any grooves to use. So that's not going anywhere. That's secured in there.
Okay.
And we should be able to then grab the USB cable that came with it. And we'll plug one end. Oh, this is USB-C to C. There's no A adapter? Oh, that's interesting.
So sorry.
Well, I guess they expect if you're going to use a tool like this, you're going to want to go with the fastest speed. And most modern boards do have a USB-C. This one certainly will, back here. And I'll just plug that in right there. And then the red light has come on the unit.
Okay.
And I'll hit the power button, and that turns the light blue. And I'm going to let it hang off the desk, I guess. Or we'll just set it. No moving parts, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be right side up or sideways or upside down. It doesn't care. And then let's go back. Let me minimize what's going on over here. And I got to reset this drive anyway. So to do that, we'll go down to the start button here. Type in CMD. We're going to right click, run as administrator, and click yes. Now we're at the command prompt. I'm going to type in disk part and hit enter. I'm going to type list disk. And I do see, this isn't going to be confusing at all because both drives are exactly the same model. However, I know it's disk 1. Disk 0 is always your boot disk.
Okay.
So I'm going to select disk 1, and I'm going to type in the word clean. Now when you type this in, it is going to wipe everything on this drive completely. Every partition, every file. Don't do this to anything that you're not exactly sure. Once we've cleaned it, I can type exit twice. Once gets us out of the disk part, the second one gets us out of the command prompt. And then I can right click on the start menu and go to disk management. And it's going to sense a new uninitialized drive.
There it is.
And we can have the the GPT partition or the MBR. We'll just stay with all the defaults, click OK. And then right click on it, new simple volume, next, 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 finish. It's formatted, there's the contents of the drive. We're done, but I want to run a test on this. Now we're going to run some performance testing. So here's my utilities flash drive, and on there I've got Crystal Disk Mark, and that's the free software I use that you can download if you want to compare how your rig runs to this. And we'll grab Crystal Disk Mark out of the PC testing software folder, and we'll just drag it out here like so. And then we're going to close it, and then go ahead and remove the flash drive for me, because I don't want that to come up as an option. Thank you, Mitch. Now we're going to run Crystal Disk Mark. Now remember, we've got the same drive installed internally and externally, and I'm curious what the benchmark numbers are. So first, we'll do the C drive.
Which is the same drive, yeah.
But it's installed internally versus externally. It's always going to run faster internally, and I'll move this over so people.
What numbers are you thinking?
Right around 7,000.
Oh, you were close, yeah, 6580.
I really like this. This little thing from Silverstone, what is it called?
It's right here.
Oh, you got to put the box up here so we can see what it is. I like that. You're going to be seeing this a lot more on the channel because now I can take customers' SATA or NVMe M.2s, and regardless of, whether it's SATA or NVMe, I don't have to pull anything apart. I don't have to deal. Now, I do like the pluggable NVMe enclosure, but I can get this already plugged in the amount of time it takes me to take it apart. So this is way faster as far as assembly and disassembly goes. So great for a temporary storage. I mean, technically, I suppose you could have as a permanent storage solution, but nothing's protecting it. So I'll let you make that determination. You know, if you live in an environment that would be okay. Wouldn't want pets to stick their noses in it, or children to play with it, or for anything to spill in it. That would be bad. Stan says this is the interesting part starting.
Okay.
Gee, I don't know if that's an insult or a comment. What was everything leading up to it? Filler. It's all just filler. Because, you know, YouTube's paying us by the minute.
Alrighty.
Ooh, piece of candy.
And that light seems more like just a power light. Because
Yeah, it's not.
It's
oh,
not,
no, we're not reading anything from that. We're on the internal one.
Oh, that's right.
Well, you're getting ahead of us,
Yeah.
Mitch.
Never mind.
Nice try, though.
Yeah.
I know. Mitch is always testing me. TJ Uncle 69 says, Carrie, I just sent you an Amazon.com gift card. Okay. Let's look. I got nothing else going on right now.
What do you
Ooh,
think?
my phone vibrated.
What do you think the write speeds will be?
The write speeds, I'm going to guess around 5,000. Mark says, Carrie, enjoy your live chat tonight, but you make building very easy. Everything just appears to go right. Did it? Was he watching? I finished building my Gigabyte Z390 Aorus Elite with an i5 12 Gen 12600, Mugen 5 black cooler, Samsung 980 Pro NVMe M.2, and Crucial Ballistics 4x16 memory, all put into a Corsair 5000 Airflow case. Everything going okay until I loaded up the BIOS after updating to BIOS 6A. Now it won't see the USB drive, so I can't install Windows. Plus, I got a red light on the motherboard for boot, using onboard graphics, power supplies, and EVGA 850 modular. There's a lot of different Z390 Aorus boards. You better make sure you got the right BIOS for it. $20 from Alyssa Klein. Carrie, here's what I was trying to send you on Super Chat. You are awesome. I am psyched. I am ready to do my first PC since Windows XP. I plan on doing a full UV blacklight build. Ooh. Are there any tips? And how do I contact Catherine, the parts woman? Catherine Anna Hauserman, I think she's in the chat room today. Catherine, are you in there? Speak up. You can reach to Catherine via Facebook, and you'll find her here in the chat room. I think I saw her in there today. She's very, very helpful in helping decide what parts to use. The only problem happens on your stream. I rewrote it 3 times, tried both Microsoft Edge and Firefox, and on my iPad, and it all failed, and I rebooted. Laptop's brand new and on Windows 10 Pro, fully updated. Googled it, found someone had the same problem, and posted a screenshot of your channel. I'm not the only one having the problem. Here is a link to the other person's post. I'd really appreciate a reply to my email on this, and any help with the Super Chat problem is also appreciated. I think you should investigate this with YouTube, since I am not the only one. We'll certainly look into it. I'm obviously motivated, but you know, I don't really have anybody at YouTube to contact, but maybe it's something I'll notice. I don't know. $25 came in as an Amazon gift card, and that comes from Gilbert. Gilbert, thank you. And Russell Starr contributed $50 Amazon gift card. Thanks for teaching me what I needed to build my new computer, although I'm still awaiting a 200R. Very good, thank you. And TJ Uncle 69 sent an Amazon gift card for $25. He says, I followed you for a while now, and I built the Aorus Z390 PC you and Mitch did that was live streamed on the 29th of October 2019. But I upgraded the power supply and I installed a graphics card. Good. Uncle Carrie's Windows 10 Optimizer installed also. Had help from my nephew with the build. That's awesome. Well, hey, thank you guys so much for your support and supporting what we're doing here. I have to say that warms my heart when I hear family building a computer together. It could be mother and child, a father and child, a nephew, an uncle. There's so little that I had in common with my parents. It just felt like, my dad was all about Elvis Presley and Sha-Na-Na, and every day it was the same. And I wanted my dad to watch Star Wars. He had no interest, ever. He just thought it was ridiculous and stupid. And I thought, well, give it a chance, watch it. And because he was into the 50s and I was into sci-fi, when Back to the Future came out, I didn't take no for an answer. Like, Dad, you have to come with me. I saw that movie like 13 times. And he really enjoyed it. And then I tried showing him a little clip from Jurassic Park because he's like, oh, this is stupid. I'm like, well, no, it looks so real. Let me just show you a clip where the dinosaurs, the T-Rex is going after the Jeep and the girl's inside screaming and the breath is appearing. And I'm like, doesn't that look real? So he was staying with me one day and I showed him the third Indiana Jones movie with Sean Connery.
Last Crusade.
So that was the first and only Indiana Jones movie he ever saw. Mm-hmm. And I showed it to him. And I said, so what did you think? And he's like, you got any more? And at the time, it was all VHS tapes, and I didn't have any more. And I was like, there was so little. My dad was into baseball. I could care less. My dad was into his religion. I could care less. Everything my dad was interested in, I wasn't into. My dad was a computer programmer, but thought me spending time on computers was a waste of time. That those computers were toys, and what he worked on were real computers, and I should be studying for school to get, a real job. Isn't that ironic? So if my father and I would have built a computer together, that would have been great. And in fact, we did. Just a few years ago. Mm-hmm. And, I was probably in my late 40s at the time. But if we go back to, let's see, these numbers are done. We'll use this computer to show it. I'll show a little clip. You think I can get a copyright strike for my own video? Hey, look, I was right.
Yeah.
5,000 on the rights.
Oh.
Okay, keep these numbers in your head. Or you know what? Let's do better than that. Let's do Alt, print screen, and then we'll go bring up Paint. And we'll take this and make it really small. Grab that corner, shrink it up, press Control V. Control V. Okay, I guess I didn't paste it, copy it. Go back, click once at the top of the window, then press Alt. Oh, I have to hit Function on this keyboard to get print screen. Okay, now paste it. Okay, so this is, you know what? I'm still doing this wrong, Mitch. Right down here, we can write down. This is a Samsung 980 Pro, 1 terabyte, NVMe internal. See what I'm doing?
Yep.
Now I can click on it. Function Alt, print screen. That just captures the open window.
Okay.
Go to Paint. See, it kept it small, so I just Control V to paste, or I could just go up here and select Paste. Now we'll hit File, Save As, a JPEG, and we'll put it under Pictures, and we'll call it same thing. Samsung
980 Pro.
I want to specify that's the internal one.
Yep.
Now, before we do the testing of the external one, let's bring up YouTube. Oh, I forgot this isn't got my cached. We'll just type in Carrie Holzman. It's all one word. Dad. There it is. Check this out. Did you ever see this?
I did, yeah.
Here, let me raise the volume on the TV. Does he look like me?
No comment.
Does he? Do I look like the mailman? Hold on, is that full?
Oh, no, the UPS driver.
All right, so that looks good. All right, so let me go back to see if this works.
My name is Joel Holzman. I am 74 years old. I'm retired. I used to, in an earlier time in my life, program computers, system software consultant. I began on the IBM System 360.
This is my dad's footage.
Went to the IBM System 3.
No computer monitors.
IBM System 34, the IBM System 36, and finished my career programming on the AS400. I programmed in RPG, RPG2, and RPG 400. Back in the day, in those programming days, we used punch cards. Originally, they were 80-count cards, and then the card was reduced in half, but held 96 punches. And that's what we used as a input into the computer prior to cathode ray tubes. Very much looking forward to building my own first computer.
So that means
Gotta help people customize and save.
I was 49 years old before I got to build a computer with my dad.
Okay.
So I'm tickled when I hear that an adult is building with a child or under 18
Yep.
to build that bond, to have some positive memories where if it's a situation like mine where you don't have a lot in common with the kids or the parents, you know, it's so enjoyable. So anyway, getting back to, let's close this. Getting back to the test, let's drop this now to the D drive.
Okay.
And I'll do all the tests again. Now the light's flashing, right? People, I don't know if they can see that. I don't know if it's picking it up. It's pretty small.
Yeah, you can see.
Now that's a significant speed difference there, but 1,000 across USB is, you know what? That's pretty darn good. Take any flash drive you have laying around and plug it into your USB port and run this free software on it. You'll probably see numbers ranging from 8 to maybe 200.
But this is not plugged into a USB.
Yeah, it's
Plugged
USB Type-C.
Oh, USB Type-C. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Mhm.
You were expecting faster?
No, it's about 1,050 is usually what's rated. So we're 1,061. That's going USB 3.2 Gen 2.
Okay.
Carrie, you can just save a screenshot of Crystal Dismark Windows hitting Control S. I didn't know that. Let's give that a shot when this is done.
Okay.
See me? Well, even I'm learning something, maybe, unless it's wrong. Stan says, I watched that video as soon as you posted it with me and my dad. And Solo says, yeah, he watched that as well.
That was 2017?
Yeah, it was 5 years ago. He does look like you. The nose is the same. I recognize you by your nose. That's what I want to hear. Dude, your father is a goat. You know what a goat is?
My brother told me, but I forgot.
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
How can he be the greatest of all time when I'm the greatest of all time? Can't be two.
Yeah. Just keep thinking about that. 40 is the lowest? Okay.
Yeah. Whoa, even the write speeds are similar. That's good. Frankie McAvoy joins us in the chat. Says hello from Ireland. Ireland. I lost his chat. I was stalling trying to find it. Where did it go? Stan Aristoff with £1.79, and Matt Power with $5 contributed. And K Cordius Technology contributes $5 and says, I'm about to build another system, trying to decide an i9 12900K at $499 or an i7 12700K at $349. I can't find a 12900K under 600. So I'd buy the 12900K if I could find it under $500. But the 12700 is a lot easier to cool, and the motherboard will be cheaper. But no, I'm sorry, it's a 12700. The 12700, it's the same board. You can use the same board. I was thinking it was an 11700 for some reason. There's very little difference between them, a couple extra cores, I think. It's a $50, no, it's a $150 difference in price. You're definitely getting less bang for the buck on the 12900, but that's the way it is with the flagship. There's nothing higher than that on the consumer side, so it's going to cost the most. But at $500, that's a really good price. The 12700 is usually around $375. So either way, the prices, wherever you're getting those prices, those are good prices. Sarge Tech joins us. Hey, welcome in.
And there's our numbers.
Oh, let me go full screen on that so we can see it. Full screen. There it is.
Now you want to copy that? How did they say something S?
Control S is what they said. So if I hit Control S, we'll try this. Oh, look at that.
Huh.
And we'll go to Pictures, and we want this to be a JPEG. Doesn't offer me a JPEG. Oh, down here. JPEG. There it is. And then we'll just call this
External.
exactly. This is a Silverstone TS16.
Docking station.
And we can close that, and we can go over to our pictures folder. And we can bring up one of these. And the other one.
For comparison.
Now, you might be thinking the numbers are horrible, but the numbers are actually really, really good. So if this is the external, I want to put the first test we did on the left and the second test here on the right. Those are incredible numbers.
Okay.
Now, if you don't believe me, if you're doubtful or skeptical, good for you. I like people that are skeptical. All you have to do is take anything you have USB, anything you have that's a flash drive, memory card reader, plug it into the fastest USB port you've got, download Crystal Disk Mark, just Google search it, get the zip file, the XP version. It'll say XP, but it's not for Windows XP. So you don't have to install the software, you just run it portable like I did. And then run those tests, and then tell me what you think of those numbers. That's about the fastest throughput you can get out of a Type-C USB port today in February of 2022. You'd have to go to Thunderbolt 3 to go faster, and then it's not going to be as compatible because if you're a technician and you have to work on customers' computers, it's highly unlikely a customer's going to bring you a system with Thunderbolt. And the great news is that you can probably adapt that down to a USB Type A adapter. Do I have one around here? And it'll still work because USB is all backwards compatible. It'll just be significantly slower. It'll be the max speed of what that USB port can do. I'm impressed. I like this a lot. This is like my new favorite flash drive, my new favorite M.2 reader, but I want to verify that it works with SATA. That's where I'm skeptical. Like I'm thinking, they say it works NVMe or SATA universally.
Okay.
So let's test that out. So let me go up here for Mitch and I to see this full screen. We'll go down to the bottom corner and we're going to eject safely this drive. And I think the light will turn off when it's ejected. No, it doesn't. So I guess you just hit the power button, tap it and release. The light goes red on this device. And then we'll unplug it. And then I bend back, what'd you call it, the nubbins?
Yep.
Pull that out. So this one is done. I need a SATA. So this right here, let me go back over here. We'll go full screen. Okay, this is brand new, never been opened. This is a SATA, brand new Western Digital Blue, 2 terabyte. Maximum speed on this, 560 on the reads and 530 on the writes, as you can see down there. 5-year warranty, as you can see over there. And then sticky tape residue. Go ahead, do the honors.
What side do you open this one? Yeah.
And what we're going to do is then we'll place that brand new drive out of the package into, can you take the drive out for me? This enclosure is a little bit warm, but not bad at all. Okay. Well, that was one way to do it. It's got a little dip in the side. See what they wanted you to do at the end? There you go. All right. So this should plug in. Now remember, if this was designed only for one or the other, the one it wasn't designed for won't fit because it's got that extra notch in it. So we'll put that in like so. This is SATA, same enclosure. Bend back that little nubbin. There it is. I'll take it over here, plug it back into the USB-C port over here. I got to remember that Control S. That was a good tip. Now, the light went red after about 3 seconds of being plugged in. Hit the power button. That turns the light to like a bright white. And then we'll come over here.
But you may have to wipe that was in a RAID as well, or
No,
no?
you
No, that's
just-
fresh
you
out of the
just
box.
open it out of
yeah.
the box.
That's how punchy I am. All right.
All right, let's minimize that. Okay, move us over here. Why did my light go off? Is my cable loose? What did I do? Oh, my cable wasn't all the way in. Okay, so that's turned on. Now let me come over here. I got this thing with not plug-in USB cables all the way in lately. Let's bring up, let's minimize this, bring this back up. Oh, we have to format and partition this drive.
Okay.
Right-click, disk management. Remember, this is brand new out of the box. So let me just close this so it doesn't confuse people. So it automatically senses it, right? It says you obviously have a driver, it's not partitioned. We'll do the same thing, GPT. Then it creates this unallocated space. Right-click, new simple volume, next, 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 finish. Formats it, and then the formatting is done, and it opens up to show you nothing's on the drive. So now we're ready to test the drive. Close and close, back over to Crystal Disk Mark, run Disk Mark 64-bit, and then we'll go to close that window and go to drive D. Oh, it's already on drive D. It will do all those tests. Remember now, this has the ability to go 1,060 megabytes a second as we've seen, but this drive doesn't, the enclosure does. So the maximum this drive can do is 560 on the reads and 530 on the writes. And look at that.
So they weren't. That's dead on the reads.
Well, and furthermore, the device is working as advertised. There are some other options available at retailers that make these claims that are nowhere near as easy to use. And you guys should know me well enough by now. If a company sends me a product, I don't just automatically praise it. And This one I'm praising because I couldn't have designed this better myself. And how often do I say that? There's usually something I can complain about. And about the only complaint I have is there is no other C to A cable. It should come with 2 cables. C to C and C to A. I don't know why they didn't do that. That's it. That's my one complaint. Our numbers so far are looking fantastic. That's going to be a great tech tool. Yeah, I'm going to use that a lot, I predict. Stan Aristov with another contribution, £1.79. Says, I've been watching your video since 2013. Wow. He says, thank you. Wow, thank you.
Hey, Lister, love it, Toto. You got that right. They're my band.
Marco says he upgraded a Dell computer.
Okay.
He saw, wait, I got to change my feed. What appears to be a very short M2 drive from SK Hynix that's been placed into an adapter so that it'll fit.
Just that little short thing? Yeah.
Yeah, see how the circuit board has been placed into an adapter.
Yep.
Now that's why there's so many little notches for that nubby thing to fit different size NVMe's. That's an interesting consideration because I only work on the 80 millimeter ones, but it's possible a customer might bring me a Dell laptop or HP laptop,
Shorter, yeah.
that, or even potentially a desktop, I guess. I'm going to assume this is a laptop or an all-in-one where they would have done something like that. You'd think for the cost of the adapter and the labor, they could have just put an 80 millimeter in there. He says this came out of a Dell 3593.
Now our rate was $4.99 versus $5.30.
And Mark Seward contributes $25 Amazon gift card. Thank you, Mark. I'm sorry, what?
Our rate was $4.99
Versus the max is $5.30.
So 500. So 500.
We're in the ballpark. And remember, if we run the test twice or 3 times, we're never going to see the same exact numbers. It's giving us the best of 5 different write tests, so I wouldn't complain. A difference of 30. What's funny is there are flash drives that don't even run at 30. I think I have a really horrible flash drive in here we can test.
The flash drive drawer.
Okay. This will just give you some comparison. I'm not going to save these results, by the way. As far as I'm concerned, if you want to build your own flash drive, don't buy an NVMe. Just get a SATA drive. They're fine. Although,
2 terabytes.
if you have the ability, to use it on a Type-C 3.2 Gen 2, you can go twice the speed. But you still don't need a Samsung 980. You could use an Intel 660p, be a lot cheaper, and still get the same 1,000, because your bottleneck is going to be the USB port. But if you want to even just go on 560, that's no slouch. It'll be, probably not a lot cheaper, honestly.
Well, there's our numbers, our final numbers.
Okay, so let's keep that in mind, because right here, if you look at the upper right, you can buy these Micro Center flash drives
Okay.
at Amazon, and 16 gigs is like, I don't know, under $10. And you just really need to understand crap. So first thing we're going to do, we'll turn this off. I guess we don't have to disconnect it. We just turn that off, and we'll unplug it. Not that we have to. Just plug that in anywhere.
In a 3.0? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever the fastest one is. It says it's a USB 3.1 flash drive, and what we're going to learn real quick is that it has nothing to do with speed.
Okay.
It's just marketing. So for us to test this, let's close this out. We'll bring up Crystal Disk Mark again. Let's close it and reopen it so it refreshes the drive letters. And let's choose, there's drive D. It's a 16 gig flash drive.
Okay.
And I'm not going to sit here all day and run all the numbers, but we'll run the read and write sequential because those are always going to be
Okay.
the best you're ever going to do, right? You'll never go faster than your sequential read and writes. So in a best case scenario, this is the best you can hope for. And this is going to be a little while. And you're going to understand why some flash drives and some memory sells cheaper. Because it's going to take a lot more time to do what we just did.
And this one does not have a flashing light. So
Yeah, we have no drive activity LED
so
on
you
there
don't
at
know
all.
if it's working or not.
No idea. No idea. So while that's doing that, let me look back in the chat here. Icarana says I have an Intel 600P that I pulled from my desktop, which I plan to eventually make a thumb drive out of. Well, these enclosures, well, I wouldn't recommend this if you wanted to be permanent, right? This is great for temporary, which is perfect for me. Perfect.
This one's more permanent.
Yes, we're going to open that one next. John Paul Bacon says, I'm like Carrie. AJ Haverkamp is saying to John Paul Bacon, I'm like Carrie. I can't stop buying stuff, especially storage related, and IT is also my job. Maybe it comes with the job. Frankie McAvoy says, Mitch, are you coming to Ireland for the Hog Fest in June? Bikers from all over Europe and further will be in attendance. Come on, Mitch. Take the plunge and come to Ireland. Do it, Mitch.
Well,
You can kiss the Blarney Stone.
Yes, my plans are June, July, and August. Away I shall go. Singapore, Hong Kong, Kuala Lumpur. I'm going to spend a month in the Philippines and wrap up my trip 2 or 3 weeks in Vietnam. And then I shall come home the end of August, where it'll be a balmy here in Phoenix, 115. But where I'm going, it's going to be 90 out and 90% humidity. So.
Wait, why is it doing all the tests? I thought I told it just to do
To do the sequential.
Well, I guess we'll just let it run.
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt it.
But Ireland, I've got to get over there. My last name, Morrison, is kind of, my parents told me, Scotch-Irish. So and all my brothers and sisters have been there, and they've all kissed the Blarney Stone. So they're like, come on, Mitch, you're the only one left that has it. And I'm like,
It's just
yeah.
a little bit of COVID on there.
Yeah.
Just wipe that out.
You got to stick your head in this hole, I hear, and, kind of crane your neck up to do it, is what they told me. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm old, but I'll do it.
What about Bike Week in Daytona? That's what Marco wants to know. You're going to go to Bike Week in Daytona Beach, Florida?
I just,
Not going to drive the bike all the way to
that
Florida.
way, and people are like, well, trailer it. And I'm like, that kind of defeats the purpose. So I'm still on the fence about going in May, my trip to Phoenix, to Frisco, to Portland, Seattle, and Vancouver, and then home. It's just too far where I can stay in the comfort of my Subaru Forester, and if it rains, no problem. And so I just don't know. That's just too far a trip
It's a long way.
for a guy like me. What if I get, now again, if I get all the way up to Vancouver and I say to myself, I can't drive home, I guess I can pay a company to transport it.
You can pay me to come get you.
Yeah, transport the bike back to Phoenix, but I'll bet that would be,
I could take the bike apart and ship it in pieces,
Yeah.
but I don't know how to put it back
Back
together.
together.
But I can totally
Yeah.
take it apart.
but I'll bet that'd be at least $1,000 from Vancouver to ship it back down to Phoenix, So,
Marco says you can get a bumper sticker that's on the back of the bike. It says, if this bike is on a trailer, it has been stolen.
I guess trailers, I looked, for a one motorcycle trailer, it's a couple of grand, I guess, and then I got to have a ball put on the Subaru, but I'm like, I would like to go to Sturgis once in my life. I'm thinking next year, or is it this year? Yeah.
It's every year.
But that's in July and I'll be gone. So,
AJ Haverkamp said Mitch doesn't want his car or bike to get dirty.
yeah. I spent Monday washing my car.
Worshing? You from Washington?
And it's spotless, inside and out. Leather condition, the leather seats, very nice. So
I'm gonna keep my
I
thoughts to
can
myself.
tell everything I need to about a person by how they keep the inside of their car. So put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Have you seen the inside of the Mustang? Very few.
I've got a very weak stomach. All right.
It's like brand new in there,
Oh,
except for the
if you-
dust.
okay.
Stan Aristoff contributes 79 pence. Thank you, Stan, as usual. Yeah, look at these numbers here.
Okay.
This is all telling. So the more you spend, the faster you're gonna go. So if you look at this 16 gig flash drive, look at the difference between the reads and the writes on here. I mean, you're looking at 110 on the reads, which you say, oh, that's not bad. It's actually quite bad. A modern like SanDisk Pro Extreme USB flash drive, this will be 400. And then furthermore, look at how painful, oh, and he's got one in his pocket. Look how painful the writes are. So if you do the math on this, how long at 16.55 megabytes per second would it take you to write the full 16 gigs to capacity on this flash drive?
100 minutes. No, I don't.
It would be a lot more than 100
Under
minutes.
100 minutes, yeah.
We're talking about seconds. This is how 16.55 megabytes per second with a total of 16 million bytes to fill it. What do you think that's going to take time-wise? Take a guess.
12 hours.
I don't think it'll take 12, but it might take 7 or 8. Now that same amount of data, 16 gigs, we could move to that flash drive. I'm sorry, to that NVMe drive. I'm going to guess in about 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes. And on the faster one, probably do that in 2 minutes. So what's your time worth? And so that's based when you're like, oh, this flash drive is really cheap. It's probably because it's really, really slow. This flash drive is advertised as being USB 3.1, but it's basically running at not much more than USB 2 speeds. So while the interface may in fact be a 3.1, the chips that are connected to it, or at least the controller, is being limited by how fast it can read and write. Not by the bottleneck is not the USB part. The bottleneck is the controller or the memory themselves on that USB stick, which is why it was so cheap. That and the fact it does not have an activity LED also reduces the cost. So you do get what you pay for in this industry. It may not be the bargain you think it is. I'm going to abandon this test because I'm running impatient with it. So we'll just hit stop.
What'd you buy it for?
I was curious.
You got a free.
I thought if I need to make like a MemTest 86 boot drive, I want to use a cheap flash drive. I'm only going to write about a meg to it. So it's not going to take very long, even at a slow speed. And if it breaks, I throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
You know, if you want something I've got here and I copy it for you, and I don't get the flash drive back, you're always good about it. But a lot of people, maybe I don't see them again and we forget. So I like to have flash drives where I can give people stuff.
And not worry
And if they
about
give it back to me, fine. If they don't, fine. And if it's slow, well, that's why I gave you that one and not, well, actually, I was giving you so much stuff, I said, take the SanDisk Extreme Pro, because I have other things to do. And so Mitch knows to have it in his pocket when he comes over, so I can load him up with whatever stuff. That
Love
I have.
it, love it,
So-
love it.
Yeah, it's great. In fact, those were on sale at Amazon. They're usually about $150 each.
1 terabyte.
They were on sale
this
for
bad boy.
$129.
Whew.
So you see I've got some new in a package here. And these are relatively slow at 400 megabytes a second, but they're so small and they fit in a pocket. They got the activity LED,
You
and I like there's no cap to lose.
Yeah, hang it on a keychain, and the only thing it does not have is a light.
It's got a light.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's right behind the.
The nubbin. No, all right.
When you slide this forward,
Oh, it's in there. Yeah,
the light's
gotcha.
right there. It's
I-
dim. You have to look for it. You should be familiar with dim.
I'm standing next to it. Nice return. Okay.
I'll think of something. Just give me time.
Yeah. Smoke coming out of yours. All right, we got another
So now,
enclosure.
when we do
Okay.
that test, it writes files. I
Okay.
wanna- oh, there are no files there. That's a different test I was thinking of. There's a utility that I use. It's called, we can just download it. let's go here and we'll search for H2 test W. This is a free utility to test any flash drive or flash memory. Or I guess you could do a mechanical drive. Let's download it. It's a pretty small little file. Is that an advertisement? That's an advertisement. They tricked me.
Yeah.
I knew that not to click on that. Let's go back here to download. Download.
US.
Oh, yeah. Then click here. That's where you download it. Then you got to wait. Then it downloads. So people can't see that because we're covering it up. Let me just uncover that. And we'll go back full screen for us. Full screen.
Stan says I can handwrite faster than this drive.
For sure.
That. I like that.
All right, we're going to extract these files out of the
Folder.
extract the files to a folder,
Little.
and then we'll launch the application. And I'm going to close all of these windows so as to not overwhelm the audience with too much information.
Okay.
Okay,
English.
it is in Dutch.
Yep.
Click English. It is in Dutch. Click English. If it's in Dutch,
English.
click English. What do you do if it's in Dutch?
Click English.
Thank you, Mitch.
Select target. Okay.
There's a number of emails I've received about how to get the English version.
Gotcha.
There's no installation, it's a portable file. We're going to select the target, we're going to make the target that same Micro Center USB disk that's really painfully slow. And we're going to, all the available space. So we want to make it completely empty, which it is. And we're going to do a write, and then we're going to read back everything we wrote to verify that there's no data corruption.
How long will this take?
Watch. See, it's writing 56 megs, 80 megs in 3 seconds, 5 seconds. And here's how much time is remaining. Watch. Watch the numbers. Now, 14 minutes isn't bad.
It's going up, not down.
Right.
Why is that? Because it's slow.
It's written 16 megs out of 16 gigs. And the longer it writes, probably the slower it's going to get, because like most flash memory, it'll start to heat up. But it's actually happening much, much faster than I anticipated. Though I suspect that number's going to change a lot. We're not even to our first gig yet. We got to do 16 gigs. That's 1,000 megabytes. We're only at 800. But it's, do I have the right flash drive? It's moving actually pretty good. I'm actually shocked. 16 gigs is not that much. But this is saying 15 minutes remaining. It's already done a minute, so that's 16. So that's a minute a gig. That was your initial guess, right? Didn't you say a minute a gig? You might not have been far off. I might have been confusing this with one worse. But nonetheless, if we run the same test either on the SanDisk Extreme Pro or on the enclosure with either the NVMe or SATA drive, this would have been halfway done.
Right.
In the same amount of time. So it looks like, so we're doing, it's actually doing quite well.
And there's the ice cream
I
man.
feel
the ice
like
cream man
I
right
didn't
on
select the
time.
right drive. Is that really happening that quickly?
D? Yeah.
Well, you can see, look at our write speed here. That's pathetic, 14.9 megabytes a second. So when you're seeing 100 or 200 or 400 or 1,000, understand why I get excited. And understand why I scowl when I see these cheap flash drives for sale. You want an ice cream, Mitch?
Dilly bar.
I think that's a Dairy Queen thing.
Oh, push up, yeah. Push up. Drumstick. Fudgicle.
All right, I'm going to cancel this test, but you can see it's going to take about, I think you're right, it's a little over a minute per gig at 14, 15 megabytes per second. So you can do the math in your head when you're buying flash memory or any USB device, when it states the write speed, pay attention to the write speed, because that's usually where they cheap out. They might advertise these really high read speeds and these really crappy write speeds. So I'm going to abort this test. Now this does leave files on the flash drive, and we have to delete those by hand. So go over here. I'll just Control A and delete.
Bye-bye.
And then we can eject the flash drive. There's no data to lose, so we can just pull the flash drive out. And I'm going to put that back in the drawer, and we're going to move on to the RVS03 enclosure from SanDisk. So we'll go back to camera 1, full screen. There we are. Okay, so here, this is the Silverstone RVS03. Likewise, it can take either SATA or NVMe drives. Only this is a more permanent enclosure.
Steady now.
But tool-free, right? So even this would be a good tech tool, while also being a personal tool. If you were to want to use this for personal use and also for business, you could take yours out and put your customers in
already
there.
opened it, didn't you?
No, the tape is on the sides.
Ooh.
Thank you, Mitch. All right, let's see how this is packaged up here.
Ooh.
We've got some thermal tape, an extra nubbin,
Okay.
what do you call that? Some documentation, USB to USB, I'm sorry, USB-C to USB-C cable only, no Type A cable or adapter, some silica gel, nice packaging. Okay, here's the enclosure. Let's bring it up close so we can see, so the audience can see. It's all aluminum. There's a little read-write LED in there, that pinhole is.
Okay.
And this somehow opens. I don't know how it opens. You push on it? I guess you just push on it. Well, that was easy. Oh, look at that. It like locks in. So I got lucky. Well, I mean, the side has little ribs on it, so I assumed that was for pushing. And then it's already got the little nub in there. I guess if you lose it, they give you the extra. Give me one of those Samsung 980s. Was that the one we already formatted?
I think so, because that was, these
So-
two were together.
Okay,
and
so let's do this one next, because I got to reformat it. So we're going to slide that in. And then the little nubbin, I think you just bend it back. There it is. And that locks it in. No tools required as advertised. And then we'll just slide this back in.
What's the pace for? Just if you want,
If you want it, because this is a more permanent enclosure, if you want to dissipate heat. How did this come out? Did it go this way? That was easy. USB-C cable here, and then over to USB-C 3.2 Gen 2 in the back of this Z690 motherboard from Gigabyte. Now there's no on-off on that, right? It's just always going to be like a traditional flash drive.
Okay.
We get any power light back here? It's got a blue light. If you can see the blue light.
Right here.
Yeah. So let's switch over to the desktop again.
And see if you got to format it.
Yeah, I bet you I'm not going to be able to see it yet. Let's go. So no drive there. Okay. So because this drive was used, and it was used in a RAID controller, I have to remove all that. I'm assuming this is going to take care of it. So I'll just do what I did before. We'll run the command and elevate it to administrator by right-clicking run as administrator. Click yes. Type in disk part, list disk, select disk 1, clean, exit. Did you get all that?
It was fast.
I got things to do.
And now disk management. And there it is.
We'll go ahead and create the partition and format it. That's done. And let's go ahead and run Crystal Disk Mark and run our speed test. We should see the same numbers. I think it's all the same controller, it's just the housing that's different. We're on drive D, and here we go. Does the light blink?
I don't see it blink. Oh, yes. Yes, it does. Right there.
Is it
They
just
can't see
blue
it.
still, or does it change color?
No, it's just blue.
Just blue, but it's blinking?
But it's blinking.
So it blinks when there's activity. Yeah, same numbers as expected.
Yep.
But yeah, this would be a more permanent, intended as a more permanent enclosure, though no tools are required to install or remove a
That-
drive.
that was-
Unlike a flash drive,
yeah.
you can upgrade it, or if it dies, you can just swap the drive out. And you can use the thermal tape if you want to, if it's a more permanent enclosure for better heat dissipation.
So you can either put
And
one
you have
of
an
those.
extra nubbin in case you
Yeah,
lose it.
put one of those or one of these in there, yeah.
If you got an old SATA M.2 laying around, it's good reuse.
And it's, again, you can put that in your pocket. So,
Oh, yeah.
and carry
I mean,
it
it's
around.
significantly
it's,
bigger than a flash drive, but it's not.
It's not ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah, it's not like a external hard drive.
Yeah.
You know,
you
those
carry,
things.
Yeah, you still use a fanny pack, right? When you walk around? Yeah, no? All right.
You wouldn't call it that in Britain.
Yeah, okay.
That means something else entirely.
But you don't use it in the back. It's always you swing it. It's the one in the
If I
front.
can't
and
carry
it's
it in my hands, I'm going down.
Backpack. All right.
Mario contributes $5. He says, I like that you got 360,000 subscribers. That's true. I'll tell you, it was a real tease because I was, as I was approaching 360 and I had just hit 360, there was this alert that YouTube said, you may notice a decrease in your subscriber count as we remove fraudulent subscribers or something like that. And then it dropped to like 359, 596. I'm like, you. And then it went back up. It got to like 360 and 6. And then the next day it dropped another 20. And then today or yesterday it went up to over 360 and it's kind of stabled off.
Al Pacino, just when I thought I was out, they pulled
pulled me
me
back.
back in. Name the movie, quick. All right.
Bull?
No, that's Godfather 3.
Oh. What was the one with the Raging Bull? What does he say?
Um,
It's a famous quote.
yeah.
I always think of, they have the Container store over here.
Mm-hmm.
And I always think, I could have been a container. Was that Raging Bull?
No, that
Could have
was
been
a Contender.
It sounds like
Yeah.
Godfather, the way they say. I haven't seen The Godfather. Not interested. Or
Oh.
Casino or any of these violent mafia movies. No interest.
Okay. You're missing out.
Yeah, I prefer to miss out.
Yeah.
Ignorance is bliss.
Godfather 1 and 2. Within my top 10.
I don't know why you would, like Scarface, I'm not interested.
No, I don't. Yeah.
It's gory.
Yeah.
It's violent.
The original, the 1930s.
Why
Scarface
would
is
you
great.
promote violence and gore?
So horror's not your thing. You don't.
I don't
watch
like horror.
Yeah, any of those creepy.
Now, if it's like Aliens, where it's kind of
Yeah.
thrill, what is that called? Action? Like the original Alien movie, not interested. Boring. But Aliens, the second movie James Cameron
Right.
did, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're seeing similar numbers here as expected. Thank you, Marty.
I mean, I'm looking now I try to research and I try to find horror films where they use what we call practical effects. So it's not computer generated. They've got to figure out the effects. And that's kind of always interesting because then I watch it and kind of play it back and say to myself, I wonder how they set that up and this and that. So, because the computer, the CGI stuff is just too easy. So,
That's what I liked about Cowboy Bebop, is they had so many real life, like spaceships and stuff they could interact and touch and stuff. in Star Wars, like when they did Rogue One, they did a lot more practical stuff, practical effects. As an actor, have you ever had to wear a squib?
Yes.
So explain to them what a squib is.
Under your shirt, typically it's a blood pack.
A blood pack.
And
it's not blood.
And it will no. And there's a little. The squib is an explosion that goes through the bag and probably rips your shirt and makes you look like you've been shot. And depending on the size of the squib, it can scare you. I mean, but you don't want to flinch. You've got to pretend that you're shot. But it's whoosh, and it's pretty cool. Yeah.
It seems like it'd be cool.
Yeah.
It seems like it would hurt though.
But you, again, because on low budget films, they got about 2 takes of that and 2 shirts, so you better get it right. Because after the first one.
It's one of the things I didn't like about the Suicide Squad, the second one, and the Peacemaker show that James Gunn is doing. Some of the gore, it just seems unnecessary. I'm like, yeah, you could have done without it. Doesn't do anything
I'm on
for
the
me.
3rd episode in, and I thought, well,
first episode.
I'm in for a penny. I'm in for a pound.
Yeah,
Might
it's
as well
it's
see the whole
worth
thing.
watching.
Yeah.
Don't get me
and
wrong.
I like John Cena.
But I think it could have been better or just as good without there's a scene where this person just explodes.
Yeah.
And there's pieces of them. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you could have given me the idea without showing the gore.
Yeah.
And I guess people find some entertainment in gore. But
Now,
yeah, not for me.
do we have any prices, any idea on these things?
Well, let's look them up.
Okay.
And I'll put some Amazon links up there.
Okay. I'm just curious.
Let's go to Amazon.
Okay.
That's a good question. Because I have no idea.
Okay.
And we've got a, give me the TS16. That's the first one we used, which is an open concept.
Open, yeah.
Silverstone. Uh-oh.
They don't have it.
Uh-oh. What's the other one called? Wait, did I type in TS16? There it is. $50.
For the non-enclosed. Okay, that's the tech one. And then here's a more permanent one.
And that's the RVS03.
Oopsie. Mhm.
Did I type something wrong? It's not coming up. There it is. It's $5 more.
Okay.
Let's see what it says. USB 3x2 Gen 2, support various lengths of M.2. USB bridge allows auto switch from USB to PCIe or SATA. Supports the trim command. It's compliant with PCI Express base specification revision 3.0, compliant with NVMe Express base specification revision 1.3. Supports SATA host in Generation 3 speed at full backward compatibility for SATA Generation 2 or Generation, in other words, older SATA drives. Support bulk only transfer, I don't know what that is, and USB attached SCSI protocol UASP. It's screw-free, toolless aluminum alloy casing. There it is.
I like it.
Wow, my screenshot looked better, my numbers look better than theirs. It's got a good review in there
Okay.
by somebody, but they didn't say anything. So watch this space for my video review of it.
Coming soon.
Yeah. See, they've got the tape on the...
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
Oh, there's a little arrow. I didn't see it. I want to go back and look again at the TS16 now to see what it said. Well, they're honest in the advertising. They don't show a Type C to type A, but I just don't know why they're not including it. It's all the same stuff here. What about reviews? That looks like the same screenshot. Reviews, anywhere? Nothing. So this is a new product. We're one of the first to review it. And yeah, I like it. That TS16, you're going to be seeing it a lot. That is so perfect for me. So my thanks to the folks over at Silverstone for humoring me and letting me try this stuff out. For sure. AJ Haverham says, I have the Orico version of this enclosure. It's a bit cheaper. I also think the Orico runs hotter and doesn't run the data transfer as fast. I don't think it's 3.2 Gen 2. The Orico stuff I've tested has not been, it's not been the worst and it's not been the best. It's been priced accordingly, from my experience. Let's see. What else were we doing today? Is that it? I got to get this in a case. Power supply looks good. That's a Silverstone ET750 we're using. And I will make the parts list for the RAM and motherboard, CPU, the CPU cooler, the power supply, these devices, the M.2 drives. That'll all be in the parts
You've
list.
got the Windows, we loaded Windows 10 Pro on that.
Yeah.
And I would imagine you've already, last time we did this board, we updated the BIOS, so there wouldn't be another BIOS.
Not likely.
Not likely. So this board's all set to go in a case, and
Yeah. But even if it was in the case and a new BIOS came out, I could easily check
Yeah.
that before I ship it, just to make sure the customer has the best experience.
it's going to be a heck of a machine. I'm jealous.
Well, you got a birthday coming up.
Yeah, I do. 102 again. All right, so
Ledman70 says, Mitch, I spent all day making a belt out of watches. It turned out to be a waste of time. Waste. Waste. It's a belt.
yeah.
It goes around your waist.
Didn't I say that joke about a month ago? Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. And I don't have a watch.
Yeah.
The reviews in Amazon are fake. People that write bad reviews of products get offered a refund or replacement in order to remove the comment. Go look at my reviews on Amazon. They're not fake, and there's some pretty harsh reviews, and Amazon has allowed them. What is the best way to get USB cables? I go on Amazon and buy USB cables. Just make sure you get good ones. Check the reviews.
And I gotta tell you, Chad, I'm a big fan of these thin to win Ethernet cables versus your standard thickness. These love them
Much more flexible.
much more, and you can bundle a
And
ton.
lightweight.
Lightweight. You can bundle a ton of them with a zip tie, and very nice. Like,
The MLG Turtle says, I need a USB extension, 6 feet, and one from Micro Center is like $18. Yeah, watch it. Some of those USB extensions don't work well. So I think the maximum you can go is 13 feet. And another 79 pence from Stan Aristov. Thank you, Stan. All right, are we done for the day? I think we're done. Call it an early day.
yeah.
What are we doing for dinner?
I don't know. What have you got a hankering for? It's a tough word, hankering. I got a not hunkering. I got a hankering for, you know.
We could go back over to the yard house, but I'm afraid you might have PTSD.
Yeah,
Your back hurts thinking about it.
And every time I know when it's about to rain, I'll tell you.
Right.
These ribs start talking to me. Yeah. But look,
What was it that,
But look, I'm all right. I'm all right.
If you fall, I cannot pick you up.
No,
So
no.
maybe just don't.
Click. All right.
Ribs. They said you should get some ribs. Put some meat on your bones. Eat ribs to help your ribs.
Never again. No, I love them. Yeah.
Joe Panico says Monoprice has nice cables. That's true. I buy
Yeah.
a lot of these cables. I think came from actually I think they came from Amazon, which got them from Monoprice, if I'm not mistaken.
And for some reason, the last time I checked, within a week, I prefer the blacks, and they're out. I think they come in different.
I'm sure that's the most popular
colors,
cable.
but I'm just like, I don't want to start mixing and matching colors.
It can be
like-
helpful when you're trying to identify,
Right.
especially in a networking environment where you've got different traffic. And so having different color cables can help you step into an environment and know that's incoming, that's outgoing, or that's to the firewall,
Yeah.
that's from the firewall, et cetera.
Because Chad, I'm all about the hardwire, so I've got 4 Ethernets coming off of the router, and then I have 2 8-port switches that are full, so that's 16, 17, 18, 19, so that's 20 Ethernets, so it's quite a nest.
Guys, Einstein wants to know what the best way is to test USB cables. It depends what kind of USB cable it is. In particular, of concern is the USB 3 Type-C cables, because there's a lot of cheap ones that can damage your equipment. They can be expensive, especially if they're Thunderbolt. It can cost $30 for one Type-C to Type-C cable. I know, because I had to spend it. There was a guy that was testing all the USB cables on Amazon and leaving reviews as to warning people, stay away from this, it could damage your equipment. See if I can search for that and find it. The guy, let's do this. Let's go back to this computer, since we have a few minutes. And let's open up the browser. And let's look for USB cables tested. Was it at Amazon? I think it was a news item. This USB Type-C cable that'll break your computer. That's somebody who modified it. Let's type in, sometimes it's just the right keywords here. Dangerous USB cables. Man reviews. I gotta find it. Man reviews USB cable. It might be just USB-C. It was a year or two ago. They had a whole article about it. Why don't we just type in what's the best way? But again, to me, it depends on the USB cable. Wow. Well, there's this. This guy posted on 2018. If you want to go to that level of bringing out a multimeter.
Jeez.
And there's a couple other YouTube videos here. To find out which cable is which, you can use it. Is it me or USB cable tester? Testing USB charging cables. 15 best USB testers. Here we go. Yeah, you just need one of these expensive tools.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Just look at the reviews.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. You don't need to overthink it like I just did. All right, I think we can go full screen back on camera 1. And we'll say goodbye. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, aloha, shalom.
Sound of Music, yep. I met the director, Robert Wise, because he was a mentor at the American Film Institute when I was there. He kind of was one of the teachers. Nice man. Who directed Sound of Music, yeah.
Photo Ray says, did you get those machines all cable managed then? They're all over here, waiting on you.
Waiting?
I have to make a call.
Yeah, on you.
Do you have any recommendations for a small, fast flash drive for Windows installation media? I like the SanDisk drives I'm using. These are 16 gigs, but they're hard to find now. But I use a 16 gig. You need 8 gig or bigger. If you look for fast drives, like I wanted the LED. Trying to think of some of the manufacturers. Samsung has a drive that's just a solid piece of metal. There's no LED on it. They're pretty cheap and they're pretty fast. They're not as fast as this. This company T-Cell, they make a pretty fast flash drive, but I think you're going to have a 64 gig capacity, really bright LED on it. And you could lose the cap, which I don't like.
What's another one that you gave me right here in my pocket?
Oh, that's slow. That's a really super tiny flash drive for like plugging into a car stereo or something where you don't want this thing sticking out that you could accidentally knock and then break the stereo or the USB port on the car. For installation media, for a fast flash drive, you can get a 64 gig SanDisk Extreme Pro, but you're only going to use about 5 gigs of it. I prefer an 8 or a 16 for bootable flash drives because older computers may not see them. And you'll be wasting the space, right? So if I put Windows on there, I mean, you could still put other stuff on there. Don't get me wrong, you could partition it, but like an Acronis boot disk, those don't have to be fast. I use these old USB 2 for stuff like for Memtest and Acronis. I don't care. But yeah, the SanDisks are my go-to drive. I don't know if I have anything that's quite as fast. Everything else is slower if it's 16 gigs. Do a search on Amazon for 16 gig flash drive and then sort by price. And then some of them are going to be like $1,000 because there's like a quantity of 500 of them or something. So you got to scroll through maybe some of that. But price will be your guide, I think. Have you ever had to, this is Joe Benico, have you ever had to deal with audio jack tips coming off of a port and how to extract it? I've seen it once where the headphone jack, the tip of it was stuck inside. I couldn't get it out. There was no way to get it out. The jack had a piece of plastic over it. So I used some wire cutters and I cut the plastic away. And then I went in with some needle nose pliers and just bent the hell out of it and got it out, but ruined the jack in the process. That was my one and only attempt. What you can do, we'll go back here just real quick since this is a good question and I want to address this. People sometimes get hung up on fixing something, and in today's day and age, things are meant to be disposable. So what I would do, if someone brought me a computer and said it's jammed in there like that, I don't know of any way to extract that when the jack is enclosed, which they usually are, like this one's all enclosed. Even when you take this cover off, the jack itself will have a cover on it. So what do you do when that happens? Well, you can go to, let's go back to Amazon. Go back to our browser, back to Amazon. And you can look for a USB audio. Look, $8.99. Boom, right?
Yeah.
Plug that into the USB port. It's made by Sabrent. You got microphone input and headphone output. No drivers, you just plug it in. You're done. Problem solved.
Yep.
So people come up to me and they go, oh, you know, I spilled something on my laptop, the keyboard's not working, the trackpad isn't working, the Wi-Fi isn't working, the sound isn't working. You just buy a USB keyboard, USB mouse, buy a USB sound card, USB Wi-Fi. You don't have to pay anybody to repair it.
Right.
You're done. Now, you want something better than that? Well, then you can buy a USB DAC that's better than the audio likely that you've got now. So if you look at a USB digital audio converter, check this out. Now you can get some real serious audio. I have one of these at home, and it's pretty small actually. It's only about 2 inches. And it's got this dial for, you can get much louder volume than what your PC probably puts out. And if you want to go super fancy and you want way more control of your audio, Sound Blaster makes the, that's a G6 here. It's significantly more money and it's physically larger, although even then you're still looking at about maybe a pack of cigarette size here. And a lot more dials and buttons to control your audio. And you can take something that's broken, take those lemons and turn it into lemonade. It just plugs into USB.
Yep.
You're good to go, and just forget that front audio. The other thing you can do if you really wanted to be cheap is go buy like a 6-foot audio extension cable and plug it into the back audio of the computer and just run it to the front and get one of those little stick-on cable management things you buy from 3M, you know, over at Walmart or whatever, so that it holds the cable in place for you. Then you can grab the cable and plug your headphones in. but you're either going to have to resolder a new connector on the end of the headphones because the piece came off, or just buy yourself a new set of headphones. That's usually the sign of a cheap pair of headphones, by the way. So there you go. Good question. Who asked me that question? Joe. Joe, it's either, I think it's got to be Panico, because I don't think Panico.
Right.
Could be Panico. Nice. I like the USB adapter. Thank you. I know that they're supposed to be extraction tools, but they are cheap, bimetal, and hit or miss. And if you're only going to use a tool once, what's the point of investing in the tool? You got to learn how to use it.
Yeah.
I've never heard of such a thing, but it wouldn't surprise me somebody's going to tool. Or just buy a replacement audio I/O. Well, if you want to do soldering, I guess, assuming you can find one that fits the board in the I/O shield, that's, I don't know that that's ideal or possible. Maybe you went on eBay and bought the same motherboard that was bad, and then you extracted it off of there, then it would work. But that's a lot of labor for something that will just happen again. I mean, if you did it once, what's to stop you from doing it again? Definitely, whatever you're plugging in was cheap. Buy a better whatever that was, and check the tips to see if they're loose before you plug them in. Okay, well, I think that's going to wrap it up for today's show. It's 4:30 here in Phoenix. That's a good 3.5 hour show. We got a lot done. I think did we learn a lot today? I learned Control S from one of the viewers.
I learned that I liked
At least on the
that I liked both of these,
Yeah?
and
Well, you can't have it.
yeah, okay, all right. But everyone, thanks for hanging out with us on this wonderful Friday. You guys all have a nice, safe weekend. If the weather's a little nice, maybe Sunday a little warmer than what it is, I might take the bike out again for a little run out to Bartlett Lake, and yeah,
And you'll be there to sign autographs all day.
yeah.
John Jack Wilson, thank you so much for your support, and Steve Warrington, and Tom Kay, and Peter Laycock, and Matt Wartanian, and Thomas Backenstow, and DJ Lyon, and Verusian Kalustian. I think I missed his $1 contribution. Tony Wallow contributed $1.99. I missed it. Ian Gooch with 10 pounds. Xrod 666, and Michael Blem, and Stan Aristoff contributed plenty of times here, and Jenny Warwillow, and Adam Sleek, and Dr. Bill, K. Cordius Technology. Thank you guys so much for all of your support, all the gift cards that came in as well that are on the phone. So hopefully I caught everybody, at least during the live stream, to say thank you. Thanks for your help today.
Yeah.
And
Robert, the ribs are healing fine. What has it been? That was Christmas Eve day. So it's been about, we're going on 5-6 weeks, so a week
Yeah.
at the end of December.
should take
so
about 8 weeks
About 8 weeks, so.
before he's all healed up,
Yeah,
if
so-
things go well.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us. We hope that you'll join us again here very soon. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and we will, how do I say this? What do I say?
And for now.
I say,
yeah,
and for
yeah,
F-E-R.
Yep. We'll leave the light on for you.
You gotta leave the light on?
Yeah. And we'll leave the light on for you.
It's blinding. I can't see. All right, thanks again. We'll see you all very, very soon. Until then,
Bye for now.
twitch if I don't say it.